Can we start? Is it possible to start? Jennifer. Jennifer, can
Yes,
you hear me?
Doc.
Okay, good to see you
Yes,
here.
please.
Good to see you
Good
so
to
early.
meet you. Boss, I always join early, Doc.
So it's good. I didn't say this is the first time. I
I
said it's
always
good to see
join
you
early.
early. Oh, that's awesome.
I thought
Okay,
Yeah.
we
so
were
can you
having.
propose for the start of the class whilst you prompt your colleagues to join?
Okay.
Doc,
Without.
one question. I just want to find out. I know we are having informatics, but I don't know whether I'm in the wrong class or something.
You are not in the wrong class. We have to do some changes for today. So we are doing the MIS this morning, and the informatics will continue after 12 o'clock or after 2. So we
Wow.
swap the time. So if you can make your notes for this class, that will be fine. So this is MIS.
Because we were not told. I don't
Oh,
know.
you were not told?
Yes, I didn't. I'm in the general cohort, so
Oh, how? Where is Evans?
my class rep is Grace. I don't know what. I'm just
Oh, Grace
getting
is
this.
not aware.
I don't know.
I informed Evans. Informed Evans about it. Probably I forgot to tell Grace. So is Grace here? Sorry about that. My apologies. I thought you have been informed. So can we get the others informed? Can you inform your group? Can we do that and start? Yeah, Eric, can you inform your group members?
All right, sir. I'll do that right now. Okay.
Hello, Doc.
Yes. Grace here or Jennifer?
It's Jennifer. Please, the slides we used last week, we told you about it that it had not been uploaded on the on the LMS.
Oh, really? It's still not there.
Yes, it's still not
That
there.
is
We checked.
that
You
is
said you
yours.
would upload it, but throughout the week it wasn't there.
Wow. And I didn't share it on the call this thing too. Ask Grace. I thought I
Mm,
sent it to her. But I'll do that. I'll do that right now. As soon as we
okay.
finish, I'll do that. If it's not with her, then that's thought I've given it to you.
No,
Okay.
we
All right,
don't.
so maybe you can put in the chat box now so that we can pick it up.
I'll do
We
that. Let
can
me put in the
download it.
let me put in the chat box now. And
Okay, thank you.
that was lecture what? Lecture
4.
4?
Yes.
Lecture 4. Okay, let me put it
You can
there.
add that of today's slide.
Okay, I should put both there now, right?
Yes.
So that was lecture 4. Lecture 4. Where is lecture 4? Lecture 4 was information security, privacy, and e-government systems, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so I'm adding that now. And then it said lecture 5. Once you then get the lecture outline, they won't come. Okay, if you don't come, you lose 10 marks. So, all right. So I've added both to the chatbots. I'll load it on the LMS as well. Okay, so Jennifer, can you propose for us to start? It's almost 5 minutes past time while the others join us.
Okay. So without any further deliberations, I, Jennifer Kwame, propose for the start of the class
Okay, right. Thank you
at
very much,
exactly
Jennifer.
8:06 a.m.
At exactly
Thank you.
8:06. Yes,
AM.
exactitude. You have been exact, right?
Yes, please.
Okay, awesome. And Jennifer, you were in class last week when we met, obviously.
Yes, Doc.
Can you give us a brief of what we discussed last week?
Okay, so last week we looked at information security, and then some of the points we looked at is the steps, things that causes the violation of information security. We realized that human behavior is one. We also had demographic factors as one. And then we also looked at the threats in public institutions with regards to information. We looked at phishing, vision, and we also looked at some primary threats. We saw ransomware, phishing, social engineering, and some others. So, with regards to what we looked at last week, these were some of the things we looked at, please.
Okay, all right. So anybody else? Anybody with what we did last week?
Yeah, so Eric, we look at information security principles, as far as the CIA thread, where we look at confidentiality, integrity, and availability. So when we talk of confidentiality, we are just looking at people just having access, only authorized access to the system. So that if you don't have access, you not get access to the data or use the system. And we are looking at the integrity of the system as well. The data is accurate, is authentic. And we also look at the availability of the network, so that the network should be available to only authorized users, so that it should be protected from unauthorized access. So that was one of the key things my takeaway for last week.
All right, thank you very much. That's so. Lecture 4 was on information security, privacy, and e-government, because these have become very central concern. Everybody is worried, especially in modern organizations and in government institutions. And public institutions, we said they are increasingly digitizing operations and their services. You cannot survive these days, whether private or public, without having to think and worry about digital systems and the security implications that come with. So we are all becoming very vulnerable to cyber attacks, to data breaches. Our privacy is vulnerable, violation, and ethical challenges. So government worldwide have leveraged on digital platforms, digital technologies to improve their services and to improve transparency and accountability. And also government are expected to engage citizenry. So all these activities, many years ago, government will have to be going around with information van to tell people what they do. If you go back to our villages in the early days, the chief will have to hit on a gong gong, go around the cities to hit on gong gong. We moved to government engaging people through newspapers. So you have to buy a newspaper. So if you live in Tamale and the newspaper is produced in Accra, you can get a week old paper to inform you. So you can imagine what will be the import of that information. So government have always been in touch with the citizen, albeit the platforms have changed. Now we are in the digital age. So all the traditional means of getting people involved, getting people informed, getting people know what is happening and government is doing have changed. Now we have on demand, real time engagement. People are asking for things just by a flip of a finger. And that is also bringing about the need for understanding the platform where these informations are made. And that comes with a lot of challenges, confidentiality, integrity, availability. All these are concepts that must be, that must have a concern for people in government and for citizenry. So that was lecture 4. Today we are going to lecture 5. I don't know whether today is our last lecture before we have a face-to-face. Probably, if ICD is here, they can inform us. So let me share the slide for today. A lot of us are still not here. That is lecture 5. So what will be lecture 5 if you have a course outline? What's on lecture 5? I ask this question so that I know that we are all here and paying attention. What are we supposed to do for lecture 5? If you can check your course outline. Yeah, who has?
Doc, it's performance evaluation.
Okay, all right. So performance measurement, we are looking at performance measurement, emerging trends, and some case studies. A very important aspect of it. We started by understanding what MIS is about, management of information systems. We defined the various concepts of management of information system. Then we came to design and develop the information system. Then we implemented the information system. Even after the implementation, the third one was that, okay, even after implementation, you have other concerns of security. So we did security last week. Now, after the next one is to see whether we can achieve what we did. And that is to measure. And to achieve is to measure, to find out what you have actually done in terms of getting the MRS that has been developed, that has been implemented. And then how are we going to see whether or not we have achieved our objective? And there are several emerging trends that also come about using information systems. And there are case studies across the world and in Ghana. In Ghana, we are doing so well when it comes to information systems, and governments over the years have done well implementing a number of innovative means of using an information system. So today we are going to have a look at how MIS has become very essential in improving efficiency, transparency, and accountability. These are the cardinal principles of every government. A government needs to be efficient, it needs to be transparent, and it needs to be accountable, because after all, the money that government are using is coming from you and I. And therefore, when they are making a decision, this decision must meet the needs of the people. So governments across the world are adapting digital technologies as a growing need to assess the effectiveness of it, to monitor the system performance, and to leverage on emerging technologies such as artificial intelligence, big data analytics, and cloud computing. You can't run away from these MIS, and therefore government will have to use it. And governments are using it. How are we going to measure the effectiveness of these platforms and helping governments to take decisions? So our lecture outline today, we'll look at MIS measurements, performance measurements of MIS, and the evaluation, some MIS performance evaluation framework. We have to be able to monitor. So how do we monitor and assess the framework? And also looking at some emerging trends in management information system. Artificial intelligence and big data is the trending words now. And in government, how do we measure the impact of artificial intelligence and big data? Cloud computing is another interesting part, another modern MIS concepts that are being used in public sector. For cloud computing, it's been around for a very long time. So long as you are on Facebook, so long as you are using your email, then you are already in it. But beyond just the communication and collaborating part of it, how can cloud computing be measured in the public sector? Then we finally will look at some real world MIS cases, and then we'll discuss the project's presentation, the group presentation. That is what we'll do when we are to meet face to face, and then there'll be some critical discussion. I did mention also that the time is going to come and we are going to do that. We're going to take a debate, maybe the last 30 minutes of the day. We are going to make a debate. The students will divide themselves into two groups. There will be a debate question, and then you take for or against, and then we look at it. You can always use your phones, your laptops, and you can always go online and make your point. Okay. And so our outline will be introduction, evaluation, monitoring, trends, cloud computing. Our objective today, by the end of this lecture, we expect that we should be able to explain the importance of performance management in management information system, especially when it comes to organization, public institutions. We should also be able to analyze the various MIS performance evaluation models. There are frameworks that are used to measure, to assess system effectiveness and the impact the system has on organizational performances. We should be able to also apply monitoring and assessment framework to evaluate public sector information systems. So we should be, now you should be looking at public service information systems. Here, there are a number of them in Ghana. We'll look at it, and outside Ghana, and identify and discuss emerging technological trends influencing public sector MIS. Okay, so like we do, we are examining artificial intelligence, we are examining big data analytics, that improves public sector decision making and public sector service delivery. The benefits are many, but there are risks as well. So whilst we are evaluating the benefits of these public sector interventions, we should also be cognizant of the risk and the implementation challenges, especially when it comes to cloud computing in public organizations. So long as you are online, then you are engaging a cloud service. And if you are engaging a cloud service, all the challenges that come on with the cloud service is there. Hitherto, if you're a government employee or you finish work and you lock your door, you carry your key away, or you give your key to the security, so you are assured. These days, the physicality of what we are doing is only one aspect of it. Most of the activities are done online. So there's a need to also analyze some real world public sector MIS cases so that we can derive lessons for how to successfully implement and use public services, and then develop evidence-based. Sometimes some of the things we say, we don't have evidence. So if you don't have evidence, you are just speaking out of suspicion, then we will have to put alleged, that the word alleged, in order not to find ourselves into problem. So we have to develop evidence-based recommendation that is required to improving MIS performance in governance and its outcome, especially in public institutions. So what is performance and what is measurement? What is performance measurement? Apart from MIS that we are going to do, what is in general, what is performance measurement? Yeah, performance measurement. And you have our phones to help us to do that. Performance measurement.
Hello, Doc.
Yes, raise your hand so that we can identify you properly.
This is Peter.
Peter is still not raising the hand. Peter, let's hear you.
Please, performance measurement is the process of assessing and quantifying the efficiency, effectiveness, and outcome of individuals in a team or organization.
Okay, all right, that's fine. It's a systematic procedure, so that you are going to quantify how effectively an individual or a system or organization is achieving its defined objective. So you cannot do performance management without understanding or without appreciating and even making your objective known. So what is the objective for a particular MIS? For example, you look at Ghana. In Ghana, we look at the National Identification Authority. What is their objective? So it is only when you understand the objective or you appreciate the objective that you can now be putting in place framework that can be used to define the performance. Otherwise, you'll be if you take the monkey and the fish, you expect the fish to be able to climb trees. You won't get it because the objective of the fish is not to climb trees. So if you are going to give them examination, you get the point. You're going to give examination to a fish and a monkey, and then you say, okay, describe how you can climb a tree. of course, then you are taking the fish out of the equation. Much the same way, if you do that to water, then the fish will have its environment to do. So yeah, there are key aspects that must be put in place, or that must be acknowledged. You have to define the metrics that will be used to establish the indicators. What productivity, the accuracy, the speed, the cost, all these are involved. So in MIS also the same way, we look at performance management as a systematic evaluation of how effectively an organization's technology and data system can achieve its strategic objectives. So strategic objective means that the long-term objective. What are the long-term objectives? So before you start even talking to anybody about performance, you need to let it be clear what were the objectives, because it's the objective that must be put together to have the performance measurements. So we are all investing in IT at individual level, at public and private sector. We are investing in IT, and so much money is going into IT investment. But this must be translated into improved decision-making, operational efficiency, and sustainable competitive advantage. Are we able to achieve it? So we cannot sit back and say, oh yes, we are able to, we've achieved it or we have not achieved it. That statement must be informed with a well-structured performance management framework. And this performance management framework must evaluate distinct categories of the data that is available. So there's the need to understand these components, because it has become essential for how the system that has been implemented is driving value for the organization, whether be it personal, private, or government. Anyway, any question, any addition, subtraction for our initial opening statement? Are there any questions? Deborah here. Evans, understand the other group.
Don.
Yes, Deborah.
Yeah.
You have a question?
No, please. Not at this moment.
Right. Not at this moment. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, Evans, I understand the rest of the class were not aware of this change. So I'm sure some are here thinking.
No, I did all the communication on the main page.
But Grace, Grace, you were not informed, were you?
Sir, no, I wasn't informed.
Oh, but I thought I discussed something with you earlier, isn't it? But
yes, so Grace, are you on the school page, the WhatsApp page?
Yes.
Yeah, so I did all the communication about that.
Maybe at the time
yesterday
came
or this
on,
morning.
Yesterday.
He may not have watched it.
Okay.
All right, so we are here. That's the most important. That's the most important thing. All right. So what are these measuring tools that can allow us to assess the success or otherwise of MIS in public institutions? So traditionally, performance has focused on the technical efficiency. But if you are in a public organization, it's not so much about the technical efficiency. So can this, if you are using an IS system or an IT system, and you want the IT system to be able to help you to provide a certain service, to communicate, to send information, to do some calculations, is it doing it? Technically, is it able to achieve it? Yes, it can achieve it. But when you come to public organization, it is just beyond the achievement of what the MIS, the system can do. It also must consider the transparency, because government must be transparent. So the transparency, the accountability, the service quality that is being done, not just, and also the satisfaction of the citizens. If the citizens are not satisfied with the policies or the use of the technology, then we have not achieved much. I am particularly worried about the disparate manner with which we have data scattered across. And I think that as a nation, we are spending so much money. But that is my satisfaction level. But are these services being are they achieving the objective to which they have done? Then there will be policy also. There are policy effectiveness. Has it been effective? If there are health information system, there are school management systems, there are transportation management system, all these systems that are being churned out by the public institutions would have policy effectiveness. And then what are the impacts on the social? If we bring a policy or implement an IS program that can have negative impact on the citizens, on the social impact, then citizens will not be happy. And therefore, we need to consider whether we have to achieve the objective. So to have a successful MIS as a function of its technicality and contribute to public value creation is what makes it very important for us to have a measurement framework to do. So in public organizations, we need to protect the confidentiality, the integrity, and the availability of the data. That is the CIA triad of data that we are giving. And we are giving data to government every day. Every day we are giving data to government. So to prevent disruptions, to maintain seamless day-to-day business function, government will have to meet the compliance, the regulatory and legal obligations that are required to safeguard sensitive information. And government have a lot of sensitive information. In fact, each individual has sensitive information as well. So if all of us are gravitating towards the government, then you can appreciate the volume of sensitive information the government has to manage. And this is to, if you are going to do the trust, so you are maintaining trust, the customer trust, the citizen trust, and also the brand reputation, the brand of the government, the brand of the particular institution. How does the citizens perceive this? So we need to avoid exposure of sensitive information. Are they doing that? Are they avoiding it? Are they safeguarding intellectual property? Are they maintaining profitability? Government are not in place to make profits. But whatever that is there to gain competitive advantage, if you are not going to make profit, you are not supposed to also make losses. Are we gaining competitively? How is government aligning IT and cybersecurity strategies so that we can achieve overall goal of the government or business? Because yes, IT is good, it has all the positives, but the flip side of the coin is the cybersecurity. So what strategies are we putting in place so that we can align the IT with IT strategy with the cybersecurity strategies as well? So these are some of the regular evaluation of public sector MIS. There are several key benefits. If we evaluate public sector MIS, then we are assured of the level of accountability and transparency. Because if we do that, we ensure that government operations comply with the regulations and that data is accurate and is helping to build the public trust. If we evaluate public sector MIS, we can also enhance service delivery, data-driven policy, resource optimization, and performance management. So when it comes to enhancing service delivery, identification of bottlenecks, and the government have bureaucratic principle. The concept of governance is all about bureaucracy. You need approval here. You need somebody to sign this. You need to discuss this. So there are various levels. If it's a private company, you don't need that level of engagement. So there are bottlenecks that these MIS is expected to streamline the workflow so that citizens can experience faster and more efficient public services. And if it is data-driven, you can't take a decision without looking at the data. So yes, in this part of the world, we are taking decisions based on political expediency, traditional, or some religious machinations. A lot of things coming in. This is to have a data-driven policy enables policymakers to make long-term and tactical decisions based on real-time evidence rather than assumptions and guesswork and political expediency. And that is the bane of us. So if Ghana is not developing, if other African countries are not developing, it means that the policies we are making from our parliament and from other institutions are really not dependent on data. We want to do Accra Kumasi Road. What measurement are we putting in place? How many trucks, how many cars are we expecting? So if we are, at the time we are doing that, we are not bringing in tomatoes and onions from the Sahelian regions. So the number of cars that are coming on, if you want to do train, okay, we do the train lines, and then we send it to Akosumo Road. What is the traffic? What is the volume of the volume of cargo that will fly on that lane? So we should take decisions based on real-time evidence, data-driven evidence. If we don't do that and we do any other thing, then we are not meeting it. Then there's the need to also have resources to optimize. How do you optimize resources? You're going to highlight on the inefficiencies, the waste. You allow public sectors to manage their budgets so that they can also manage the resources more responsibly. And that is what the evaluation will bring out, will show, will portend it. So measuring performance and providing measurable matrices so that we can track the effectiveness of government programs and employee productivity. That is, if we are regularly evaluating public sector MRS. These are some of the issues that we can get it. So it's important to evaluate MRS in public organizations. And it shouldn't be done once in a while. If it's a quarterly, we do that quarterly. If it is monthly, we do that monthly. Because this is a system that can provide its own data. So you don't need too much. All you need to do is to plug in the evaluation matrix so that at each point in time, it will re-regulate itself and it will give us information as to how we are faring. So there's a need for us to look at MRS and performance and measure that against the organizational effectiveness. So directly driving organizational effectiveness, translating raw data into actionable insights are all important in this space, because to have a high performing MRS is to optimize your decision making, is to accelerate daily workflow, make it faster, and ensure that resources that we have are efficient and they can empower businesses and empower citizens to achieve strategic goals. That is the importance reason why MRS evaluation measurement is critical. Now, what are some of the key relationship of them? What are the things that we are looking at? Why is it important to do it? The first is the strategic decision. Every organization, every government will have to take strategic decision because it's a long term. You have 4-year mandate, you have 8-year mandate. The country is a going concern. So we should be able to have 50 years and 100 years mandates. And there's also the need for operational efficiency. We are always doing one thing or the other. How are the system being reliable? How is it reducing the manual workload? How is it streamlining interdepartmental coordination and eliminating communication bottleneck? There's also the need for competitive advantage. What robust information system are we using to support, for example, expansion of our market, product innovation, directly impacting on organizations' bottom line and customer satisfaction? So yes, we are mirroring the activities of the private sector into government. So strategic decision, high-performing MRS is expected to provide accurate real-time data so that we can minimize the uncertainties, allowing leadership to make decisions that are proactive rather than reactive. It is raining now. This morning it is still raining. So you can imagine for the past 4 or 5 days or so, it has been raining dogs and cats, or cats and dogs. And we can all witness what is happening. The flooding system, the choke gutters, the rubbish that citizens are putting in place. So what proactive decisions are we taking? You see the politicians walking in water and making statements, we'll go and break this thing down. But these buildings, if you break them down, it doesn't solve anything because you are not scooping the concrete from the ground. You are just breaking them down and leaving the rubbles on the site. So we are not going anywhere. Why is these things happening? Is it because we are not allowed, or is it because our leadership are not taking proactive decisions? Are we just reactive? And that is some of the reason why information system is important. Of course, there are challenges. There are challenges of how information system in the public sector can be evaluated, because public sector is complex, it's notoriously complex, complicated. A lot of people come in there, their core challenges, fundamental mismatch. Mismatch here is the person is not, is not fit for purpose. He's not the one to lead a particular ministry or to head a particular department. But for political experiences, we apply traditional public sector evaluation matrices to help. So how do we prioritize? How does the public sector prioritize profitability, the return on investment? So government will have to have a framework that can also prioritize equity, social welfare, and the complex policy setting goals. So evaluation of MIS in the public sector requires the views of balancing the social impact with the complex bureaucratic framework that we have. And if you turn your face and look now, especially in the cities, you see what is happening. And last week or so, I heard that the xylophane, the one that they used to put the what is it, the takeaway, you know, you go and buy rice and they put it in something. It is a source of cancer. The government has seen that. There are research that has come to clearly indicate that this product that we put hot meal in is a source of cancer. So government must take decision. And guess what decision has been taken? We are waiting to 2017 or 2030. You've realized there's something is going to, and a lot of people in Ghana, cancer when we were kids was not common. You wouldn't hear, but now you hear very young people getting cancers and all that. Go to Kolebu and you see the number of people suffering from cancer. And it is because of ignorance, it is because of profitability and all those selfishness. And if you have data, real-time data that has shown you that this is the cause of cancer, ban it. Now, oh, people have these people's businesses, and so we have to leave it and wait till maybe 2028 when I win the next election. So what decision are we taking? So there are barriers to successful MIS implementation in the public sector. And there are several key categories that these fall into. Any addition, any subtraction, any controversies. Right. Any controversy, anybody can come up with something that is also a border to us as a nation. I know we all have experience and we all have something to talk about. Yes, Eric. Eric.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, for what we've been saying, what's your take?
Hello, sir.
Yes, yes, I can hear you. For what we've been talking about, what's your take?
Yeah, this is Yunusa. So, with regards to the political
okay, I called Eric. He didn't respond. Okay, Inusa.
With regards to the political vulnerability, right?
Yes.
When you look at the core problem, which is the short electoral cycles, do you think that the recent constitutional amendment, the recommendation that was done by the Constitutional Review Committee, proposing that the electoral cycle be moved from 4 to 5 years, you think 5 years is enough not to be qualified as a short electoral cycle, which will impact some of these evaluations?
5 years, at a personal level, I think 4 years and 5 years, the difference is not that much. So probably we could move it a bit further than 4 years, because the cycle, the person comes in the first year, he's all doing appointing. The second, third year, work is ongoing. The third year, we are back to the election campaign. So if you look at the 4 years, it's only about 2 years that effectively you can do it. And Ghanaians, we are part of the whole thing. We also blackmail politicians. The person is building a waterway. The person is erecting structures on the pavement. The person is dumping refuse. There's so much indiscipline ongoing. And when government wants to do something, you see people coming to, okay, we won't vote for you. Okay, do this. And nobody wants to lose the election. I remember President Kufuor when I think the drivers, people were jumping. There was so much chaos on our roads, and the police were tasked to arrest people, and people were sent to jail, and paid high fines. Okay, and then getting to the election, because they need the votes, they brought these people up, and they still voted against them. So for me, 5 years is still take it to 8 years once a while, 8 years once, so that the person is not coming back to seek for election. I don't know whether Adnan, my point is maybe it's too extreme, but do it 8 years once. We win election, you have 8 years mandate. Of course, there will be challenges and there will be flip side of it. But most of the time, since 1992, if you realize, every government is going 8 years. So the in-between elections, especially for a sitting president, going again and winning is high. And the evidence, the real-time data we have from 1992 to now, the electoral cycle that we have had, going up beyond 8 years, breaking the 8 is also high. It's also very, it hasn't been achieved as at now. So if you ask me, looking at the electoral cycle and the track record that we have had as a nation, I would propose, if you ask me, I'll propose that give the mandate to the president 8 years and once. That is what I'll go for. Because this thing is not helping us. It's really not helping us. By 8 years, he should have done whatever it is to do. And he's not coming back to you to ask for your vote. Therefore, he doesn't have the mandate to come ask for your vote. Therefore, if he has to take a decision, he take the decision and let the chips fall where they may. Probably the political party, his political people would say, oh no, we want to come back to power, but blah, blah, blah. But no matter what you do, or no matter how perfect or imperfect the government have been from 1992, they always win the second election, the second term. They always the second term. So the 8-year cycle, breaking the 8, impossibility of it, I'm talking about data. Mine is not about politics. I'm talking about data. The data that we have now doesn't support this recurring 5 years and 4 years. It's only 1 year difference. And it will not make much difference. So for 5 years, for 2 terms, that will make it 10 years. The person will win again the second time. And that will be 10 years. So why not give the person 8 years to do it and then wash his hands? So if he decides that he's coming and it is taking care of health, he can use 1 year to streamline and clean up the health system. If you want to do infrastructure, road infrastructure, he can do it without looking back and having this expectation of going to win for the citizens to blackmail them. Yes, Joseph. Have I hit the chord at the wrong point?
No,
Yes,
sir.
sir. I align with your opinion on that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, but your hand is up. You want to say something? Joseph, apart from aligning with me, is there something you want to add?
Doc. So, all right.
Yes. Joseph hand is up. Let's hear him and then Isaac can come.
Hello, Doc.
Yes, sir.
Please, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Okay, so in relation to what you were discussing with Inusa, that we should extend some of their period for them. And for me personally, for politicians, if you give them so many years, what they want to achieve, they are the same with what they want to achieve, because they are not ready to move the country forward. And we, the citizens, too, we are not ready to evaluate and hold them accountable. So even if you add 16 years to their period, the still result comes back to zero. The reason why I'm saying that is because if you remember, in 2008, they said that SHS should be moved from 3 years to 4 years. And in fact, I'm one of the 4-year cohort. I'm a beneficiary. So that 4 year couldn't achieve anything. Because if you make senior high school 4 years and then 3 years, there's no result. If the student want to learn, the student will learn. Because in years, even you can, in your time of, or in your SS time, you can even record that people in Form 2, people write NOVDEC and they pass and go to university without going to Form 3. There are many instances. Even some of in level Form 1, he started preparing to write NOVDEC, and then Form 2, you go to university without going to Form 3. There are a lot of people in this country, professors. They didn't go to Form 3, but they are professors. They are doctors. Some too, they gave them the 4 years. They couldn't achieve anything. So, as for politicians, power can ruin your mind, and then with power and money and all that, and give them a long time that way. They won't achieve anything. So, as for politicians, there's no need of adding any years to them or what. For personally, I propose that we give them 2 years. 2 years, we come to national evaluation. Should you for the 2-year period that we're giving to this president, looking at his performance as a national or as a nation, should we give him another 2 years? We'll evaluate it. If he worth it, then we'll give him that another 2 years, making 4 years. After 4 years, we'll give him 2 years. We'll come to national evaluation based on his performances and the resources that we hand over to him. Are they able to achieve a national goal? If it is yes, if it is no, we kick him off. For me personally, that's what I propose. So giving them much more or extending their period for me doesn't come after now. It is Form 3, Form 4. If a student want to learn, no matter the period or you are giving him. That's all.
Okay, thank you. The beauty of democracy. So yes, thank you very much. That's your opinion. It's good. I share with your opinion.
Hello, sir.
Yes, it's just another
Hello, sir. This is Inusa again. Please.
Go again.
I think this is Inusa again. I think
Inusa, yes, Inusa.
The contest was in relation to the evaluating
the senior
MIS.
high school.
No. I'm talking about my question and then your answer. It had to do with the duration and also with regards to evaluating MIS. So I'm just trying to put this across so that we are guided by how we are.
Yes. So mine was also with the MIS and data. The data availability, the data that's available. All right. Yes, Matthew, your hand is up. Okay, thank you, Joseph. I think you made your point, Joe. Yes, Matthew.
Yes, sir. So I was going to mention that I side with you, but it's good you mentioned that there are downside of this. Yes, even though you mentioned that you propose they extend the period, they take it one off and then go. I side with that, but then you also
and go and once don't come back to us.
Yes, but it's good you also
maybe
mentioned
8 will be too much. The person is not needed, and he still has. We have to wait for 8 years and punt for him to get out. So maybe 6 years, but 5 years. I think that's 5 and 4. The difference is not much, but they may also have good reason for doing what they are doing. All right, thank you, Matthew. Abraham, you want to say something?
Okay, Doc. So in relation to this performance evaluation, in the same topic that we are discussing. So, per fact, as you rightly put, 8 consistent years, like 8 years, when within the first 4 years, when a party is in power, there's a guarantee of the next 4 years, making exactly 8. So if we base on that analysis, meaning 8 years has been given to a single person as a president or a party which has been in government for 8 years. linking to performance frameworks or evaluation. It's 8 years. So if really we want to have done something, we would have gotten some parameters to measure upon. So whether we make it, as you are saying, your suggestion, 8 years frame, so that the fear of losing election in the third year won't be there, so that they can focus or channel whatever their strength in developing the country. Then other question will be raising. What are they really developing? What are we even assessing them on? Are we assessing them on national policy, or we are assessing them on their political manifesto policies? That's also another question. So it's a way that if our system would have been a national policy, when you give the person even 100 years, you know it's a national policy that they will be championing, not an individual or a party policy, which will soon be translated into a national policy, and another party will come and they will veer from that, which will be a retrogression effect to the nation. So we can give them 8 years, 5 years, 6 years. We can even subject them to what my friend said, the national evaluation, for them to continue. Maybe it's 8 years, for 5 years, we do the national evaluation, then we say, okay, let's still continue. I don't know if I'm right. China system quite similar, or Russia system is similar in a way. So the focus is about the policy, is it the national policy that they are really hammering on, or their individual policy, so that we can measure them effectively upon it. That's my take.
Well, good, very good. And bringing Abraham. Yeah, thank you. And Mustafa, come back. Bringing China and Russia to the field. There are stability issue as well. If you see countries that have been stable and that is developing, no matter how all the things that you talk about, they are doing well for their people. So probably the concept will have to be looked at. But everything to do, this is measurement. This is performance measurement. You can only measure performance with the objective. So what is the objective? What objective are we measuring against? But in Ghana, it is not so much of objective being met or not being met. It is all about sloganeering and political machinations and all manner of things. I mean, that goes into it. So it's all really about measurements. The people say, okay, we don't want a Muslim, so we don't want a Muslim. No matter what you come about, I don't want a Christian. So people who come, I don't want a Northerner, I don't want an Akan, I don't want this. So people come with their perception on why and how they should vote, irrespective of performance measurement or evaluation. These are emotional and other means but our interest is performance as much as MIS is concerned. So if you are giving government, if you are putting in place measurement, performance measurement is where MIS is concerned. Every aspect of government activity will be measured with the MIS. That is the only means that is data driven, that is evidential, that is devoid of personal innuendos and all of that. Yes, Matthew Johan is still up. Can we hear Isaac? Isaac hasn't spoken for a while. Isaac.
Yes,
Yes.
So I have two contributions. So I side with what Abraham just said. We have NDPC, which that's supposed to develop the national plan, and So for me, I believe that we need to get a national plan. Then all these political parties pick their policies from it, and actually implement those policies. I really side with what he said. My second contribution is with where I work in the government sector, and this SOE, they really pose a lot of risk to the government. If you check ECG, their operational, how they operate, they really cause a lot of issues for government in terms of financial and even service delivery. And so I really think that this performance measurement that we are talking about, they are supposed, I mean, they are CEOs, they are political head. I don't think they have any measurement criteria for them. You know, I think they are just their performance is not based on any laid down achievement they are supposed to do. And so by the time the 4 years is up, we don't see anything, and they just go scot-free. So if they are being measured by maybe a particular target, then the president who appoints them can, based on that target, maybe for a year, if they are not able to achieve that target, they are being, taken off. Then a new person comes who manage those SOEs well. That's my little contribution.
Okay, that's fine. But if with MIS, it's not a human being that is really taking the decision. If we are really implementing developing and implementing MIS in all sectors of our political and our public space, then the decision will not come as a result of you being there or not being there or taking a decision. The system itself would come and say, for this reason, the data we have and the condition precedent that has been given, this is the decision that must be taken. Yes, Mustafa, but your point is also well made. Yes, Mustafa.
Yeah, good morning, Doc and colleagues.
Good morning, Mustafa.
I have a
different perception.
Yeah, but it ties in with some of the contributions about assessment of the. I think the presidential system we are running is very expensive, and it is prone to a lot of corruption because it has to be. It's heavily dependent on money. In fact, during the campaign, if your money runs out, you are out of the race in most cases. So I think that we need the prime ministerial system. With the prime ministerial system, if you do well for even 30 years, you are there and you are working, like we have in India and other places, and even in the US. And it is very less prone to corruption because everybody runs their campaign in their constituency, and the party that wins the majority forms government. So that is my opinion. And the people will keep the party in power as long as they do the right thing, whether in MIS or in other areas. So that is just my opinion. I think we are too fixated on the American system, but they have found a way of cleaning, making that corruption look very good. So if we want to do that, that's fine. We can have laws on lobbying and all that, and then we can go. But as we have it now, it is prone to too much corruption. People finance. So that's my opinion. I think the prime ministerial system will be better.
That prime minister, okay, that will be good. That's also another version. It's also okay. Our interest is MIS. If all we are going to do is to ensure that all aspects of governance has information system to collect data, real-time data, and make decisions. Are you looking at a hybrid system as a nation? Because the American system also a bit different, where we have even after you can gain popular votes, but then there's also another level of votes. Hillary Clinton had the popular votes, but he missed the other votes and so could not become. So it's also another concept that must be looked at. But our interest as MIS, Joseph, I'll be with you. Our interest as MIS is that decisions are taken based on data. So we can all have opinion. We can all hazard guesses and make the point. But what is the data saying? Database decision making. All right, Joseph. But it's interesting. I mean, it's interesting that we're having this discussion. But we are not doing politics. We are not doing political science. Our interest here is how MIS can be used to help achieve the objectives. But to do that, what are their objectives? And if they are objectives, when we were developing the MIS, when we're implementing the MIS, did we have the objectives as part of the conditions that are required to do the to build the MIS to start with? Yes, go ahead, Joseph.
Hello, Doc.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so for me, I think our core problem is our main problem as a country is that we don't have a national goal or national agenda as a nation, and so everybody does what they like. So everybody feels that everybody feels so when you come, even though America and Ghana, there is a different institution, different country or different nation altogether. But apart from that, let's say government go, government come, government go, government come. They have a national agenda. You understand? But as a country, it's like every government comes, he has his own agenda, he has his own policies, and then when it goes, the policies fade off. Then another one come, and it continues like that. And it doesn't help.
Yeah, you're right, and that is sad. That is how come we are not developing as fast as we could. So, well, we need to obviously, even from this discussion.
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
I bet to differ. So if you say we don't have national goal,
it's good. It's good to differ. I mean, we are not cast in stone.
If you say we don't have a national goal, I strongly disagree, because
no problem.
we do have a national goal, and as a matter of fact, every ministry that you see out there, at the end of every 4 years, they prepare what we call the MTEF, which is the medium-term plan. So the medium-term plan is like it's also taken for a national development plan. Do you get it? So
okay, so for us in MIS, we are looking at those planning and those reports that we are given. Are they situated in the MIS? Did we perform?
So the argument is that we should have a separate MIS national development plan. Is it the argument, or the argument?
No, that's not the argument. Every sector of the economy. The argument for MIS is that every sector of the economy must have MIS there. So we have so that when we are coming to give evaluation, we know what objectives we are giving our evaluation. What are you giving your evaluation on? In transportation, in aviation, in this? What system did you use? So the system will come up with the evaluation. Hey, people are really interested in politics. So, all right, thank you. Yes, Evans, you also want to make a point. Let's move on. We have a lot more to go.
I think the MIS must be there, all right, in the public sector organization. But as to whether the controls that will evaluate the KPIs on the performance of the MIS system has been migrated or integrated into the MIS system, I think that is where the issue might come from. So if the controls are not integrated into the system, it will be very difficult to evaluate the system as well.
Yes, the MIS would have control mechanism and even how evaluation should be done and what matrices, what performance KPIs are expected. The MIS will have that. Yes, Prince. Let's have Prince and then move on.
Yes, Doc. Well, thank you and good morning to you and my colleagues.
Good morning, Prince.
Please, just like my colleague said, that there's MTEF in most of the ministries because they come out with a midterm, but how do you call it, a plan. But the question is, we are talking of MIS. The plan you are coming with should be data driven. So now these people will just come, they'll just come and look at the place, jaw their heads, and then come out with a plan. Then the budget, it will be approved. Because it is not data driven, we don't know how important or to what extent it affects us. We just know it's a problem. But whether it is serious or not serious, we can't really tell the long-term effect. So you do a budget for it, you go for approval, they give you the money, you come, and then you even squander the money without really implementing what the money is supposed to be used for. And because there's no data, there's no MIS system to measure whether the target has been achieved, and then the impact of the target, no one will really hold you accountable for, because we don't even know the effects of it. So MIS is really needed so that before we even make the decision, because this economics, opportunity cost, the needs, the problems are unlimited within even one sector. So if you have proper data from MIS, you'll be able to even know, okay, which one amongst all these problems, which one is the topmost priority based on the data we are having. So that once you achieve that, it even have a trickling down effect. But if you just make a decision based on, oh, they say this is the problem, so let's come out with a medium-term goal and then get money and then address it. You go and then you squander the money, and no one really know the effect or the impact of it.
You have a point.
Please,
That
I'm
is
not
why.
sure
Don't worry.
anybody
Let's move on. We
makes a
cannot have
plan
our
out
point.
of vacuum. I
Let's
don't
not
think
turn
it
this class.
happens anywhere.
No. Wait a minute.
We
Let's
can
not turn this
discuss
class
this further
into.
later on. We can discuss this further later on.
Let's not turn this class into politics alone. The point is that we are talking about MIS, and that is adding MIS to economics, because you guys are going to have the opportunity to rule the nation. So if you are going to rule the nation, you already have understanding of the need to incorporate MIS into the governance structure. It's not like pick and choose. Every aspect of the system must be. And countries that have done it are making waves. So we need to have a structured model to assess the efficiency. What is the structured model? To assess the efficiency in health, in transportation, in agriculture, in industry, in sanitation. We need to have that. It's a model. A model is not something that comes at the behest of somebody else. So that is all that MIS is doing. So effectiveness and strategic value the organization's information system can give. So they have to measure both the technical system health, the speed, the accuracy, the organizational impact, decision-making support, user satisfaction, goal alignment, and attainment. This is what MIS is about. So there are framework, there are models that should be used to assess it, to look at them, the success or otherwise. If you don't have MIS in a particular industry, you cannot use MIS to determine. So most of the things you are talking about are without MIS. So there's the need to have, and there's DeLong and McLean's information system success model. Information system success model. So these are frameworks that use it, but you can't use it where you don't have MIS. So you don't have MIS in handling Galamsey. How are you going to use the MIS model to evaluate it? So you use emotions and personal aggrandizement to get these things done. So it's a highly respected framework that evaluates how systems perform structurally and behaviorally. How are you going to build these six? There are 6 independent dimensions. If you are doing MIS, you're not doing MIS and you're doing other things, or you have not incorporated, implemented, developed MIS system into that particular policy, you can't use MIS to do it. All right. So first is that there are 7 of them, 6 of them. First is the system quality, where you are assessing the technical processing performance, so system reliability. The MIS that you remember, we developed it, we implemented it, we saw that there could be security issues in, and now we want to evaluate this. So you need to put in place how easy it is to use, how easy can the user use it, So this is the first point. What is DeLong and McLean information system success model? So it says that for information systems to be successful, you need to look at 6 interdependent dimensions: system quality, information quality, use, the user satisfaction, the individual impact, and the organizational impact. So if I pick one information system for a particular organization, particular government organization, I want to assess, or I need to assess the technical processes of the performance. Is the system reliable? Is the response time okay? Is it easy to use? Then we come to the information. What type of information are you collecting? Is the system collecting? You have to evaluate the output of that information. What data What is the accuracy of the data? If the data is not accurate, then even the system evaluation cannot be accurate. Is it timely? Is it relevant? Is it right? Is it in the right format? So if you collect data, unstructured data, we have qualitative data, we have quantitative data. What is the system built to collect? What type of data is the system built to collect? What's the quality of the data? Then the use. How do you measure the actual frequency and the extent to which the users are interacting with the system? If the system is built, citizens are expected to interact with the system, provide data and give data and use it. Are they using it? What was the objective of the usage? If you thought the usage was going to be 1,000 people in a day, 200,000 in a day, how many people have used it in a day over this period of time? The data is there. And then what is the user satisfaction? Those that have used it, what is their satisfaction? What is the subjective opinion and the comfort level of the system that is being used? Are they satisfied? Then you can have all of these things. It's a system. Systems are made up of components that are working together to achieve objectives. So at the individual level, you ask them the question. After they have used the system, you ask them the question. You evaluate whether the information system has really empowered these individuals to achieve the objective. Has it made things better, quicker, faster? If the person wants to use the online service to provide, to get a passport or to get driver's license, when he used the system, what was the impact? What can he say about it? Then the whole organization. So if it is DVLA or passport office, at the end of the period, they have to look at the macro results, whether the MIS had improved overall departmental efficiency and the corporate productivity. So that is what we are looking at. These are the 6, and they depend on each other. These are 6. So if one is not working well, the whole system is not working well. All right. So this is our interest. If you haven't used MIS, then you can't use MIS to determine anything. We can talk about all the other things, but if the decisions are made without MIS, then that is not how you can do. So this is the McLean's Dillon and McLean's information system model. So system quality, information quality, that will dovetail into how the user, how it is used and how it is how the user satisfaction can be measured. Then what is the impact on the individual? At the end of the day, what is the impact on the organization? And here we're looking at the organization as Ghana. Ghana is the organization. So what is the impact of the system, the individual system that we have done? So if you have 20 systems, all these systems at the end of the period must come together so that we can collate all the information and make decisions and look at the country. Has the country moved the way we expect before we implemented the MIS? So a particular time that we are evaluating the MIS, what has been the impact on individual citizens? Have they been able to achieve the objective, receive quicker, more efficient? Has the government become more efficient? Has services become transparent? Has it become accountable? How much money was taken as duty at the port or as taxes paid? All these things must be done. What is the impact? Are individuals in Ghana? What is their satisfaction level? What is their developmental level? What is the level of impact on the organization? And McLean is looking at organization. We are looking at Ghana as the organization, overall impact of it. We can see it is evidential. They have data to support it, and we move on. That is what we're looking at. Then there's another level. There's another type of a model that is used to measure performance. So that is the PRISM, the performance of routine information system management. There are certain activities that are heavily, especially in public sector, that are heavily dependent on daily activities. Our healthcare organization, our transportation organization, our sanitation. These are things that you do every day. So they utilize public sector. The PRISM is that what is the performance of routine information system management? And these have also been categorized into 3 major dimensions. We have the behavioral determinants, we have the organizational determinants, and we have the technical determinants. This is another level, this is another model that can be used to ascertain the effectiveness or otherwise of the information system. So when you look at the behavioral, you are going to evaluate the user acceptance, those using the system. What is the level of the acceptance? What is their motivation? What is the system ownership? How are they thinking that the system called Ghana, the country Ghana, what is the ownership of it? How do we feel as Ghanaians? Then the organizations as well. So these are the individuals feeling. Then the organization determinant also. We assess the presence of routine data. So routine data is every time data is churned out, what is the quality of the data? How do we check it? What is the governance and what is the management support of it? How is government supporting the information system that has been done across board? Then there are technical determinants also, where we measure the hardware capability, the software complexity, and the data transmission features of the system that we have done, the MI system that has been developed. So this is another platform, another model, another blueprint that can be used to ascertain the performance level of the organization MIS. Okay, so this is it. You have a technical input for if you have assessments and health information system assessment, the technical, the organizational, and then the behavioral. So when you look at the technical, you look at the input, you look at the output, you are looking at data quality, use of information, improve health system and performance. Then you can look at whether the outcome to improve the health, if you are using health as an example, whether the outcome of a particular health system has been achieved. And that is how the PRISM also says or how we can evaluate the performance of information system. So performance of routine information system management. That's another framework to get it. There is also another framework, and there are several frameworks. This is also called the balanced scorecard framework, which is a strategy-oriented evaluation. So this is also focusing on the strategy, because modern management are relying on balanced scorecard. Balanced scorecard is to shift the focus from evaluating the box. The box is the IT system. Some people call it black box, the IT system, and to evaluating its strategic purpose. So here we are not so much concerned about the system itself, but we are breaking the MIS performance into 4 strategic categories: financial, customer, internal, and internal, and then the learning group. So he says that this is saying that for you to ascertain the to be able to evaluate the effectiveness or otherwise of an information system, you need to find out whether the MIS is reducing operational costs. So we want to drive from Accra to Kumasi. How much is it costing the citizen? If implementing a software or implementing a system, we are not interested in the box. We're not interested in the software. We're interested in the financial. The first one is the financial reduction of financial costs. Is it yielding positive return on investment for government and for individuals? And then the customer. So here, customer can be the citizen. Does the MIS enhance the client-facing services or internal user satisfaction? Is the users of the MIS satisfied? We are not still thinking about the system, the box, and then the internal processes. As Ghana, as a public institution, there are processes. So does the MIS help streamline the processes and the procedures? Does it eliminate data duplication? And I don't know whether it's this class where I mentioned that we have NHIA, we have this, we have this, we have this. Data duplication all over. So the MIS that we are doing, internal processes. So take Ghana as one organization. Our internal processes using the various MIS. Is it streamlining our workflows? Is it eliminating data duplication? Is it automating business processes? And here, is it automating government processes? And then what learning have we accrued from all of this? Is the learning and growth well done? Does the MIS empower employees to do the right thing? And he empowers citizens with the right training. We train people to do it. We have the tools and analytic capabilities to adapt to the changes that are coming within the government and within other markets. Are we comparing ourselves to others? So this is another framework, the balanced scorecard. So we talked about the McLean and DeLong's. We've talked about the PRISM. And the third one is the balanced scorecard. So the balanced scorecard, this is the figure that will explain the balance scorecard. Every organization will have a vision and strategy. So Ghana, what is our vision and what is our strategy? So financial, to succeed financially, how do we appear to our stakeholders, our citizens, our development partners, the customers? What is the vision, the citizens, to achieve our vision? How should we appear to our customers? How is governance? How is the customers, our citizens, looking at governance? Then there are internal business processes, internal government processes. Are we satisfied? Are the citizens satisfied? Our stakeholders, customers, business processes, are we excelling at it? And then the learning growth. If we achieve our objective, what learning have we sustained? Do we have ability to change? Is our experience giving us ability to change or to improve? These are the things that the balance scorecard is looking at. There are several, but I think these three would suffice at this level. Maybe when you move to a PhD or you go to do other things, other strategies will come. How you can use MIS to achieve your strategic vision. We are still measuring, we are still evaluating how the MIS that has been developed, that has been implemented, that has been suspected to have challenges with cybersecurity, how is it being evaluated? So these are the focus. There are key criteria evaluation that we will need to go, regardless of the model that you choose. We have discussed 3 models. Regardless of whichever that you choose, to have a comprehensive MIS evaluation, we have to look at some standards, some measurable standards and attributes. So data integrity, because that is critical. If the data that we are using, we are adapting, we are collecting, we are processing it doesn't have integrity, then we cannot rely on it. It cannot give us anything better. So we have data integrity, we have the system, that's the box, the black box performance, we have the cost benefit analysis, and then you are doing economics. So you appreciate these things more. And then the risk management. So when it comes to the data integrity and when it comes to data integrity and output, and yes, when it comes to data integrity, the core focus is the output, because you're taking data. What is the reliability level of the output that you have? Are the output accurate? Are they complete? Are they free from duplication? Look at our country. Look at our country and tell us whether or not our data is complete from duplication. Is it complete from duplication? Where we have our data at NIA, at passport, at DVLA, so we are only doing the same thing over and over again. And that is not the mandate, or that is not what MIS is supposed to do. MIS is supposed to remove data duplication. So we have implemented MIS. That is also not taking away the data duplication. Then we come to the system performance. So remember, whichever model you choose to evaluate the system, these things are very critical. System performance, what is the technical efficiency? What is the system response time? And what is the system update time? And then cost benefit analysis. How much money did we invest in the national identification system? What is the financial return? Is the operations and maintenance cost outweighing the expected benefit? All these must also be looked at. And then the risk management, security and reliance. MIS has a lot of security implications, because people are out there also trying to make whatever you are doing, they also want to take it off. So is the system equipped with data breaches, so that downtime and overload time can also be handled well? If you can do it, then we are in to go. But if we have all this framework, we also need to monitor. So the framework is good, but how do we monitor and assess the framework itself? So there must be a structured system that can be used to track the progress. That can be used. So you see that it's edifying. The system itself is also self-checking itself. So tracking progress, measuring performance, and evaluating the impact of the program or policy that has been done. So ensuring that there's accountability, linking specific activities of government into a broader output, long-term goal, using measurable indicators. When it rained, these are the number of places that got flooded in Accra. Do we have the data? Is the data there? How many places have a rubbish dump? How many roads are still not being done? Do we have the data? And are we using the data? So we need to have a robust framework that can be broken down into several interconnected components, which will be designed to assess the performances comprehensively. It is not pick and choose. Devoid of emotion, devoid of whether it's MPP or NDSK, whether it is right or wrong. No. It has to be comprehensive. It shouldn't be one point, because if you go and touch one point, because Ghana is a system, government is a system. Systems are components that must work together. If one aspect of the component is not working, the whole component cannot be effective. It cannot be successful. So everything and anything at all that can come in there must be part of it. So monitoring and assessing the framework is also important. There are key performance indicators. There are balanced scorecard approach. There are results-based management systems. There are monitoring and evaluation. And there are continuous improvement models that must be done. All these must be done. What are the key indicators that we expect? What's the balanced scorecard? There must be resource-based management. We need to monitor and evaluate the system and continuously improve. Yeah, the system cannot be 100%. So that is why these things, so the system itself needs to be monitored. Apart from the effectiveness of the system, remember what this guy said? Yes, remember the PRISM? The PRISM says that the technical determinants. So the system is the technical. There are behavioral, there are organizational, and the system itself. Hardware capabilities, software complexities, and data transmission features. The system must monitor those things so that we can be assured that what we intended to do, we have achieved it. So all of these are to help us evaluate the performance of the system. So there are several components to be able to do that. We can have the theory of change. Change is very fundamental. But in Ghana, not in Ghana, in every organization, nobody accepts change. If a baby wants to come out, you see what he's doing, he wants to stay where he is because he's comfortable in the mother's womb. The mother is also struggling. So the fundamental mapping to outline how and why a program's activity are expected to lead to the desired long-term outcome, the theory of change. Then there are performance indicators. Many of you already know the specific performances that matrices, qualitative and quantitative, that must be used to gauge the progress of every level of the results. So from input to process to output to outcome to impact, all these things must be measured, but they must not be measured in the midstream. You have to start. As soon as you implement the system, you know the parameters that will be required to assess the system. You come to lectures, and if you don't know the parameters you are going to do, when we started these lectures, I told you that this is how the examination is going to be like. These are your scores. This is what you gain when you do what. So we know. If we didn't know and you come to lectures, and at the end of the day, you get a D, you get an F, what are you going to measure it with? Yourself. How do you even measure yourself? What did I do? Why did I get this? The lecturer doesn't like me. He didn't tell us what we should do. So at this level, we are telling you that at the end of the semester, you'll be taking through. You're going to have a weekly assignment. Then you negotiate it. Oh, sir, the weekly assignment, we are doing other courses, so if you can do it, so we give you only one individual assignment. Then we give only one group assignment. Then we are going to measure you according to what you have said. If you don't come to class, if you don't participate in class, okay, if you come, you're going to get 10%. If you don't come, you lose the 10%. So you know, so the performance is specific, it is measurable, whether it is quantitative or qualitative. You can measure and gauge your progress at every level of the results and the results chain, and then the data collection and analysis. You need to establish clear methodologies to take the data. What methodologies are you using to collect the data? Are you doing surveys? Are you doing interviews? Are you doing reporting? Because the individuals must also acquiesce to what you are saying. They must agree and tell you that, oh, when I use the passport system, these are the challenges I got. Are you satisfied or not? I am not satisfied. Then you can also gather the data systematically and verify the information so that you can make improved decisions on it. You can improve the system. There are several methodologies that can be used. We have the log frame, that's the logical framework, which is a matrix that clearly summarizes the core elements of the project, identify the hierarchical objectives, indicators, and also external risks that may come. We also talked about the resource-based measurement, where you focus on the performance, the actual result, rather than just the implementation of the activities. So what are the actual results when we're not having biometric verification at the passport office? How many people were able to do? How many people have been able to process, and what is the turnaround of application for passport and delivery for passport? What is the cost involved? When we finish giving the passport to the citizen, do we have a system to ask them about their satisfaction level? If you go for UK visa, after applying and after being given, they'll send you another long list of questionnaire. They'll beg you to answer those questions, and then you answer. When you came in, your payment, the amount, the way you were treated, the person who received you, the interviewer. So they'll ask you all these questions so that they can have enough information to improve the system. So that is what is expected. This is what MIS is asking to do. And then you can also have what we call the outcome mapping, where specialized techniques focusing on measuring changes in the behaviors, in the relationship, in the actions of the people who are using it, who are involved in the system. You need to look at the outcome mapping. And that is what the British Embassy or the consulate is doing, the British America. So they give you the visa. If they don't give you the visa, they'll tell you you have to go through the same processes. And that is what our interest is about as MIS professionals. And you doing economics, adding MIS to it. So you see where we are going. So there's the need to have, but a lot of challenges are coming up. What are your views so far? Any question, any contribution? We are 30 here. There are still 2 people who are not here. Yes, and Kinfred. Hey, Kinfred. I haven't heard the name before. Kinfred. All right. Kinfred, Akuya, let's hear you.
Yeah, please, I wanted to ask on the measuring the performance with regards to our health sector. You see that there's been frequent migrations between the systems, like the DAMS and district health management system. Then now they move to Lightwave health information system. Then now they have Ghana health information system. Like it keeps on changing. Just this year alone, one hospital, government hospital in Accra, they told me that they are now using a new system now. So that means all those that have been coming for the previous years, their records are gone. So I want to ask, given that the ultimate goal of MIS is to drive performance and improve health outcomes, how can the management establish a stable framework to evaluate system effectiveness if the technology platform itself is constantly changing?
A border for professionals in MIS is a border. These decisions are not based on the system evaluation of performance measurements. Yeah, you can see that they are based on political expediency. So yes, it's a border, and it's some of the things that go on that we think we can reduce the cost. Even if the system should be evaluated and the system should be updated and improved, not scrap it. Because when you scrap it, you are going to start all over again. So measuring performance in relation to management within the Ghana Health Service, it should focus on how effectively the digital health information system support the service. For us, that is what should be the focus. Anything else, you are just using MIS as a facade. You are just using it to do whatever you want to do. The healthcare system going through platform, we have the district health information system, right? There's a district health information management system.
Yes.
Then.
Yeah.
There are also electronic records in selected hospitals, isn't it? My masters, I did my masters at my project at Tete Kwashi Memorial Hospital, and yeah, we developed a management information system so that we can take the paper-based system out of it, and that was a policy that could have been done, but I'm not sure it's good. So the way we are changing things would definitely affect us, and it will not make it even make the use of the MRS obsolete. So we bring the new one here, we don't trust it, because even when the users themselves, the doctors, the nurses, the patients who are using the system, it changes again. And when it changes, the new one that comes people have to be trained. Already remember that change is a difficult phenomenon. Change in all aspects of it. And therefore, when it comes to information system, it's even worse because people are not used to it. We are still in the infant stages. If you look at countries that have gone over 50 years of it, we are still grappling with it. We are still in the embryonic phase of information systems. And if the person after going through all that, you implement it, it will take some time for them to appreciate what it does. Then before they can get their hands around it, you are bringing another system. You are going to train another system. You are going to do change management procedures. So it is not the best. It is not going to help us to be able to reduce the redundancy, because it's supposed to reduce paper-based work, optimize resource allocation, performance measurement, evaluating whether the facilities are using the resources more efficiently to support it. So security and all that, all these things are. So Ghana healthcare system and MIS, it's not just about the technical issues, the technicality of it, but also about how well the system can improve health services and support delivery, support national health policy, and strengthen evidence-based decision-making across the various levels of it. But that's not what we are seeing from the evidence that you have. It's not what you are seeing. So MIS cannot really be used to meet the health needs of the nation. So what is the bottom line? The bottom line of it is that the nation, we must know the life expectancy of Ghanaians. What is the life expectancy of Ghanaians? So the life expectancy of Ghanaians should tell us, because that is the output. Because if it's a health service, if you keep the person alive for a longer time, that is what your services are being effective and efficient and accountable. But if the life expectancy, somebody can Google and tell us what the life expectancy of Ghanaians are compared to life expectancy of Nigeria, of Singapore, of Korea, of Japan. You can get the data. And then you can make your own inference and say, no, the system or how we are handling the system is wrong. Because systems should not be changed at the behest of those who change, and government changes and new people are coming in. You should find a way of ensuring that we meet our obligations. All right, Kinfred.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Any other intervention? Any other? Yeah. So Kinfred, you can put your hand down now so that. But you can't disagree with me. I mean, this is a master's class. You can disagree. I mean, there's nothing wrong with disagreement in academia. I mean, that is the essence of it. We always disagree. All you need is to come up with a Prisla, come up with a superior argument. That is all. Especially if you can quote from academic sources or research sources. Yes, Prisla.
Hello, Doc. Good morning.
Yes, good morning, Priscilla.
Yes, please. So to add to what Kinfred's question was achieving to seek the answers, I think apart from it being more political, sometimes as we've been discussing all along, maybe the target or the reason for which the MIS was set up is not achieving those goals. So you realize that, as we have been discussing, it's supposed to be flexible, it's supposed to meet the KPIs and all that. But some MIS, you realize when you start using them or you implement them, you are not able to use it effectively like what you want to use it for. And then when you go back to the developers and you want them to make some changes, because depending on how it was set up, it's difficult for them to make those changes. And so it becomes necessary sometimes for management to make these tough decisions. I don't think it's easy on the part of management to just get up and say that we are changing MIS because Kinfred and you rightly mentioned that we sometimes lose data, patient information. I don't think any institution or hospital in the right sense will want to lose critical patient information that will be used to manage these same stakeholders. So I think sometimes, though it's a tough decision, they need to make it to make the system running and for them to achieve their ultimate goal. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. Yes, that's another version of it. You're right. If the system is not achieving its objective, then and the what do you call it? The developers are not willing or they are not capable of implementing it. Then they have no option than to scrap it. Yeah, that's another important view. But if MIS in Ghana is not achieving its intended objective, the issue should be framed as performance gap between the expected outcome and the actual system impact. So what were the performance? What was it supposed to do? Are we involving the stakeholders? Remember when we're developing MIS, we said everybody wants stakeholder analysis. You have to interview everybody that is expected and get their views. You may not get their views. Probably you've seen another health information system working somewhere, then you come and implement it. You haven't spoken to anybody. So maybe they did not speak to anybody. They did not speak to anybody and then they went into it. So you have to evaluate it. There are system implementation that do not fully align with operations and human institutions. And so there are areas, your data we have said, if it's incomplete, if it is delaying, if there are user adoption, low user adoption, all these can also, so it's not one size fits all. We look at the specificity, a particular institution, a particular health service. Why was it changed? Probably you don't even know. You work there, but I don't know why it was changed. Management will take decision at the board meeting and say, oh, this is what they are doing. So sometimes there are weak infrastructure, there are weak connectivity, there are unstable internet, there are limited hardware, there are power challenges. All of these things, the hospital doesn't have a standing what do you call it, generator. As soon as the light goes off, you are now running around to go and look for fuel to come and power it. So all these things will have adverse effects on it. It can hinder the real-time data entry and system reliability. And this also, the system is also not integrated well across board. So when it's not integrated with all the others, then inadequate decision making. But I will not be able to be here in my armchair and prefer reasons why. So if you tell me that this system has been scrapped, it has been changed, I'll go to the hospital, you talk to the doctors, you talk to the management, you talk to the people who developed the new one that is when you can make informed decision. Otherwise, I think will come in. And when I think comes in, then I mean that is nobody can challenge you because that's your thoughts, and we are at liberty to think. So if you are thinking that this is the way it should go, bingo, that is what it is. But to have a comprehensive analysis of it, we need to go down there and come up with the real reasons. Then we can prefer solutions to it. So some of you will be doing your long essay, and probably you want to take up some of these things. If I'm going to if I'm going to supervise project. I'm not sure because this is economics. If I'm going to supervise a project, then you would pick up your own organization. If you work in the hospital, you pick up the hospital. Then you have research into it to interview people. Then you can come up with a fact. Then we can discuss it. All right. Thank you very much, Priscilla. So yes, we've gone through all of this, and there are issues, a lot of issues with emerging trends. MIS is coming up with a lot of emerging trends. We have digital transformation in government. We have smart government initiative. We have data-driven governance. We have citizen-centric information system, open government platform. All these things are emerging trends that are coming, that are informed by issues like IoT, big data, and artificial intelligence, and the rest of them. But modern information system is now reshaping the public sector, reshaping and shaping the public sector. So governments are moving from the bureaucratic paper-based entity into these agile and data-driven organizations. So what is the digital transformation in government business? Digital transformation is moving away comprehensively, integrating digital technology into all the operative word there is all aspects of it. When I was doing the research, the all had been put in capitals and bolded. And I said, oh, well, every word here is important. You know, all into all areas of government. Don't do one and leave the other. Because you have to have a fundamental change on how agencies and operate, on how metropolitans and deliver value to the citizen. So we are now going into full digitalization instead of the digitization. You know, digitalization is where every aspect of your activities is enabled by digital technology. If it is digitization, then it is only the paper. You are moving the paper from, instead of writing paper and signing, you are giving it electronic basis. And there are legacy issues as well. So if you have rigid on-premise data silos. So look at us, Ghana, a lot of data silos. To secure scalable and cloud-based infrastructure, you need to look at these modernization. And then there are interoperability issues, interoperability of framework. So connecting disparate agencies, our taxes, our health, our transportation, these are disparate. So if you have GRA coming up with tax, e-tax or tax, there's a system with a GRA. I don't know if there's anybody here with GRA, where they are using e-tax. Okay, I think e-tax transport. It's not connected to health. It's not connected to sanitation. It's not connected. All the systems must be integrated and they must be interoperable. They must all work together. Probably MIS is looking at this too comprehensively. But if it is not comprehensive, then we can't achieve our objective. So look at our country, and any policy that you take, any program that you take, any service that you take, they must all be on the same platform. That is where we are looking at interoperability. And there are process automation, so robotic processing automation to handle the things that are routinely done administratively. So that one also, you go to the hospital and somebody will have to sit and take your temperature and take your what is it, your heartbeat and take your pressure. These things can be done by robots. And when the robot does it, it goes straight into the system. All right. So we are reducing the efficiency. So reducing long-term efficiency, operational costs, eliminating redundant physical infrastructures and manual paper-based work. That is how we can achieve it. If we don't do it, we will be patting the elephant on the back. It would not have any effect. We'll be doing disparate and silo system. Oh, for the health service we have, even the health service, it is only at the Tekwashi Hospital. It's only at Kolebu Hospital or Kumasi Hospital. And even the Kumasi Hospital and Kolebu Hospital, what are their system integrated? Can somebody in Kolebu, can a patient in Kolebu go to Kumasi and report of any illness, and the doctor can just enter the system and know everything about the patient? So that questions, the time taken to even diagnose the patient will be less. And is the patient an does he have NHIA card? Is he registered? What is his track record? What is his family history? What are the causes of where does he live? What has he been exposed to? All of these things would have to be done with the click of a button. If we don't do it, forgive me, but we are not going to achieve anything. We're not going to achieve anything. Yeah, we may achieve some things, but that will not be measuring performance as well as the MIS is concerned, or MIS can do. This is the worry. And there are smart government initiatives. So government are leveraging on emerging technologies, IoT and edge computing. All of these are creating highly connected and automated and intelligent public infrastructure. So if it is government, everything about the government should be integrated. Maybe I'm living in utopian world where I think but that is what we should be moving towards. We can start small and integrate IoT, deploy connected sensors to monitor urban traffic flow. Look, even the time you spend in traffic, then even if you have AC and you are not getting pollution and what do you call it, exhaust fumes coming to you whilst you are in traffic, you are staying in an air condition. The air condition itself, staying in air condition for too long also has effect. So all these must be known. Managing waste collection. For now, I am really sad about it. The way human beings are living like this. Look at the environment. Look at how we are. We don't even have a waste collection system. We don't. As a nation, we don't. Look at Abobo, this Abobo Ya people. They are the ones that are collecting our waste. When was the last time you saw we even implemented a waste collection system? When? Meanwhile, waste itself is a resource. If we can do recycling, if we can do composting, we can see what we can derive from the waste that we are generating. So we are not doing it. People are integrating IoT into the system. I have supervised a number of master students who have developed IoT for waste collection. So if we don't do it with connected sensors and monitoring of urban traffic and managing of waste collection, optimizing energy grids, all these are not being done. And then we are talking. There are also predictive maintenance, predictive and prescriptive maintenance. So we need to utilize all of these AI. These are things that are being done elsewhere. We should copy. I don't know, we copy everything. We copy religion, we copy everything. We copy music, we copy dancing. But when it comes to the real thing that we must do, we don't copy. And that is the border. We copy the type of hair our women will use. We copy and go and take somebody's hair, and that's so expensive. So ask yourself, what are we doing? Why are we so fixated in covering our hair with somebody else's hair? And how much are we selling it? Is it being produced here? So how much are we giving other countries who already have much? And let's find out how much money we spend importing hair extensions and hair and women and my ladies, please forgive me. I'm not picking up at you. It is not your fault. It is not your fault. That is the system we have inherited. So all of these things are telling us something. As a nation, we are being told something. We are importing onions from Burkina Faso. The last time they said they were not going to sell us tomatoes, onion and tomato. You are importing it from Burkina Faso to Ghana. When they said they were not going to sell, we're begging them. Look at our land. If you take a flight from Accra to just take a flight from Accra to Tamale or Wa, and just look down and see. Don't go high. Just look down and see the vast land that is just there. It is just there. We're not doing anything. We prefer to buy V8. How many tractors can a cost of V8 buy? We don't need the physical our old men and women weak, using physical strength to do it. No, we don't need them to do that. We can use these integrated IoT sensors to do the work. Get tractors and mow the place, bring the place down, and use these compost, manure, and the rest of that. We can do it. The technology is there. But who bears the cut? There must be predictive maintenance. There must be digital twins also, where we are creating virtual replicas of cities so we can look and stimulate it. Look, the whole of Accra, we can have a map done. Even a system will be there that can take off all the buildings. I mean, and virtually take the buildings and look at the topography as it is naturally. Because when we came to the world, the land was already there. God created the world before He created the man. But we're the last on the creation stage. If you're a Christian and you believe in that, we were the last. So when we have come, how do we use MIS to stimulate the impact of policy changes, to look at the natural disasters that we are doing, and do zoning laws and the rest of them, and have specific, deliberate measures to solve our problem? It is raining today, eh? Okay. Tomorrow we'll go to church and clap our hands and ask God to have mercy on us. God will not have any mercy. Next year it will rain again. We'll have the same places that have been flooded again. It's been that way for the past 50 years. What are we doing? What are you doing? What am I doing? What is the government doing? This is the sad reality of what we are. And if we are doing MIS, you want to find solutions. The solutions that the challenges that we are confronted with. What are the solutions? There should be real-time responsiveness, automating of emergency response system, so that instantly we can route data from street cameras and sensors to first responders and find solutions to it. There's nothing MIS are not doing. If you go to Korea, if you go to Singapore, if you go to Japan, then you see government must be depending on data-driven governance. So there must be a shift from public administration, which are reactive policy making, to proactive evidence-based strategy, so that we can treat data as a core strategic asset. Having advanced analytics, resource optimization, risk mitigation, and also performance dashboards. This will be running. So we have running machine learning model on massive public data sets, focusing on economic trends, disease outbreaks, infrastructure strain. All these things must be done. The need to allocate public budget and emergency services so that dynamically we can base on real-time demand matrices, rather than historical guesswork and political machinations. And there must be performance dashboard. The president must have a dashboard and see what is happening by a click of a button. Give government executive real-time visual key performance indicators so that they can track agencies who are working efficiently and or not. Leaders must have dashboard. On your phone, you can have the dashboard. Whatever happens, the report comes. You don't need any middleman. You don't need anybody to come and give you anything. So that can put measures in place. There are risks. Whatever we do, there are risks. So we need to use predictive modeling. We identify fraud. We identify waste. We identify abuse in social welfare, tax collection. All of these things can be done using information system. Of course, emerging technologies are doing great for other nations. So we should be able to also do it. We should be able to copy it. All right, that is it. But ladies, if I said anything that is hurting, please forgive me. It's just part of it. All right. Then there must be citizen-centric information systems as well, where there's the need to look at the traditional bureaucratic model, design public MIS around the user's experience and needs rather than the government internal organizational chart. So single sign-on, providing unified digital identity to portals where citizens can access municipal, state, federal services when they log in one. So if you log into the government service, you should have access to all the services, DVLE, and passport office, transportation. Ghana, do you have public transport that we need? So there are omni channels where public services are fully accessible via mobile phone, responsive website, automated messages, and we have to be proactive. I think we mentioned proactivity. So our service delivery must automatically notify citizens about when their passports and their driver's license and their insurance and roadworthy certificate are expiring. But we don't do. So we subject citizens to unnecessary pressure. The person may even have forgotten. Sometimes because of the heat in this country, the sun, even if you have your sticker, your driver's license, your car, what is it? The roadworthy certificate and insurance, it may have faded. Then the police will stop the person who is going to work. And then your passport is, your roadworthy is expired. So you pack and then you bribe the police. Yes, Esther.
Okay, good morning, Doc.
Yeah, good morning, Esther.
I'd
This is
like
your
to
first time
add
speaking
my...
today, eh?
Oh, no, I've been speaking. I would like to add my voice.
I'm talking about today.
Yes, today, yes. I think with the insurance bit, I think my company, what we do is we kind of keep all our clients' data, and as is the renewal, we give 3 months notice, 2 months notice, 1 month notice, 7 days notice, and on the day of the renewal, we give a notice to the client that your insurance has expired and you need to renew.
Awesome.
And we even follow up
Which company
with
is this?
Shield Insurance Brokers.
Where?
Shield Insurance Brokers. We're on the Spintex
Shield.
Road.
Shield Insurance.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay, Shield Insurance Brokers. Oh, okay. That's
So
awesome.
that's what we
good.
do as a company.
You need
I
to
think
clap
some people
yourself.
can also adapt that.
Oh, that's good.
Thank
yes,
you.
Yes. And you see, this is good, but it's isolated. I mean, few people are doing it. We are looking at the government policy that makes all of these things done. So this is a private institution, isn't it? A private company. Is it a private company?
Please, it's a private company.
Yes. So that's good. That's awesome. That's awesome. It's very good part. So we don't have to wait and subject our citizens into, because then Ghanaians are stressed. And if a person is stressed, what is the productivity? He gets to the office and he's angry about the system and all that. It all comes back to us, So pre-filing of renewal forms and all of that, and accessibility control. We have to embed strict assertive features, screen readers, multi-language support to all demographics, so that they can navigate the public system. So there are several open platforms for governments. I think we should be taking some break. Open data platforms, non-sensitive public data assets like transiting, crime rates, records, machine readable format, citizen co-creation. We're allowing independent developers and researchers and startups to all come together. Public participation tools, hosting of digital town halls. Town hall meeting, it looks like it is even gone. Meanwhile, now that we can, even if we cannot move from town to town, we can have town hall meetings online. To hosting of digital town hall, e-voting system, crowdsourcing of budgeting tools, and all of this, accountability and trust. So we need to foster public confidence by making government expenditure and contracts and legislative voting records all auditable and transparent. So these are all part of the issues, and we need to ensure that we are capable and able to achieve it. Then artificial intelligence and big data, because now that is the thing. Many governments are relying on automated administrative tasks, predictive public policy needs, and improving service delivery. But you can only do this if you have the system that can allow government to shift from reactive processes to highly responsive safe and data-driven operations. So we have AI applications in public services, automating our routine tasks. I think we've mentioned this. We have citizen chatbots. Even if the person is not there, you can have conversational handles that inquiries can be made. If somebody is not happy about something, you can always go online and go and make this thing. So your taxes, your welfare benefits, documenting, machine learning algorithm, extracting data from forms and from reducing processing backlog of visas and permits and passports and licensing, using AI sensors to monitor public infrastructure, bridges and waterways and systems so that we can flag any defect that come. But we don't do it all. So if you see the government officials walking in the rain, in water with Wellington boots, rubber boots, then you'll be asking yourself, this one should be sitting in your office and clicking the button and knowing that beforehand this is coming. So fraud detection, you can have AI cross-references, financial records, all this must be automated and they can be flagged to identify evasions and identity theft and benefit fraud. So these are all issues that can be done. And predictive analytics, converting historical big data into proactive forward-looking policy models. Then we have public service interventions where there can be algorithms that can analyze health data to predict diseases and disease outbreaks and allocate medical supplies effectively. Last time, I think there was a nurse was going to deliver, I think, liver medicine. And then he got bitten by a snake and died. So the medicine didn't get to the place. So we could use drones to do it. Yes, we started the drone. The last government started the drones. The drone, we need to expand it so that things that machines can do, things that we can use information system to do, we relieve the human beings. Human beings are not supposed to work hard. They are not. Why should you work hard? Until we started eating the apple, we were not even working. What is it? So God didn't really create us until we committed, if you are a Christian, until we committed the sin. We're supposed to just enjoy the breeze in the garden, isn't it? So if you are going round, now we go into the wilderness and now we are sweating to do it. We've come back to the level where machines can do things for us. Why not? Let's have smart economic models where machine learning processes retail, labor, housing, data sets, so that we can forecast inflations and guide tax policies. And then the climate risk, predictive models that can help us see whether the sea levels are coming, whether the weather patterns, to enforce smarter zoning of laws. All these flood would be curtailed. And there must be precision social safety net as well, where we locate communities that are at risk of food shortages, housing insecurity, so that we can deploy targeted financial aid. Yes, there's financial aid also, but what is the target? I'm sure that you get to a point that it is becoming more political. So we have also big data for public service optimization, where fundamentally fueling, aggregating vast public information so that cities and services can run efficiently. Remember, these things that we are studying, if we relate them to our country, we may be disillusioned, but we don't need to be disillusioned. You are doing economics, so very soon you'll be in charge of the country's economy. We need dynamic, intelligent transit so that cities analyze live GPS data from buses, from trains, to adjust the schedules and reduce the gridlock. And there must be smart grid management as well. A lot of people are not paying the right utility bills. So utility providers will have to process real-time electricity consumption and data so that we can balance our energy load and prevent blackouts. And then waste management. For the waste management, I don't even want to talk about it again. Because Yakas are equipping sensors, trash bins, alerting sanitation. Now it is Aboboya that is going to, and look at Aboboya, they load it so much and they are going, they pour it somewhere and go away. And when it rains, it just go back into the gutter. We have open drains. We have small culverts, bridges. And there must be emergency responses that aggregate historical emergency service to help. I don't know how many of the one district, one ambulance, or one constituency, one ambulance that is there. So we are just picking the things small. And if after 4 years, 5 years of this, I'm sure the cars are they are even gone. And some of the cars were even used to cut cement. And these are very expensive equipment. There should be ethical governance concerns as well, where the deployment of these technologies should have strict framework, create severe risk to citizens' liberty, equity, and trust. So algorithmic biases where systems are trained based on historical data, so that we can stop the perpetuation of discrimination in policing, in hiring, and also in housing. Maybe here we won't see because we are all blacks, but if you move out of Africa, you go to US, or you see, to be black is to have more there's more tendency for a black man to be in prison than for a white man. But here we may not see that much discrimination. So the black box problem, where deep learning models lacking transparency, which is impossible for the citizens to appeal because it is automated decision. So when it's automated decision, what happened? Here, where is the automated crowd? And surveillance of state expansion, where continual data collection, facial recognition, and all of those things are also eroding the fundamental privacy of the person. In Japan and I think in China, as soon as you get out of your home, you are being monitored. You are being monitored. So the system knows when where you are going and when you are coming back. If you don't come back within a specific time, every day you come back home at 9, if it is constantly done. So when you're not home at 9, somebody must be alerted. So yes, in one breath, it helps us to connect and to know our whereabouts. In another breath, it's also making it so that you are being surveyed. Can you imagine that you are there, you think somebody is watching over you? It doesn't feel right. So the fundamental privacy of it is also, and there are data breach liabilities as well. If you have centralized database for citizens, then they can serve as high value target for ransomware. People can just get the data, and you can also receive a foreign espionage. So there's a need to also look at the digital divide, where some population are vulnerable, they lack internet access, and also systematically being excluded from automated public services. AI framework. So this is what artificial intelligence is expected to do in governance, transparency, fairness, robustness, security, and all of these are something that must be looked at. Okay, can we have a break? I think I need to take water. Let's have a break and come back. It's 10, yeah? What time are we coming back? Can we have a break?
It's supposed to be a 30 minutes.
Supposed to be 30 minutes. What is the break time?
10 to 10:30.
Oh, then it's past. So let's do it. Yeah, it's almost 10:15. So 10:15, 30 minutes. So we come back at 10:45, right?
Yes.
You didn't pause me, or you are enjoying the lecture? It's time. Yeah, okay, so let's pause now. So RCD, can you pause the recording so that it helps? Can our host pause the recording? All right. So we come back you come back at 10:45. Let me take a breather. has reduced drastically.
Yeah, Doc, we are here.
From 27 to 18.
Welcome back.
Yeah, thank you. The number, I don't know why, it's now 18 instead of 27. All right. So who can give us a brief of what we have been doing so far? A minute or two. Anthony, I haven't heard from you. Anthony and Charles, are you part of us? Yeah, Charles, good morning. Is Charles here? Is Charles here? Are you Charles?
Good morning.
Okay, anybody to give us a brief of what we have been doing?
Yes, okay.
Esther. Yes, Charles, can you give us a brief of what we've been doing?
Hello.
Yes, Charles, we can hear you.
I'm here. Yes,
can you give us
okay.
a brief of what we've been doing?
Hello.
Oh, Charles, we can hear you. Can you give us a brief of what we have been doing?
Yes, sir.
So we are listening. Yes, Charles. Charles, are you in class? Charles appear. Okay, Patrick. Is Patrick here?
You're not hearing me.
Charles, we can hear you.
Hello, Doc.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Before we went on break, we discussed about MIS performance evaluation frameworks. And then you spoke about the Loan and McLean info system, and then about the PRISM and the balance scorecard. We spoke about three methods, and we're making a flood and how the political officials will be seen in the flood in their booths and moving around instead of using data-driven.
Go ahead. The flag and the people wearing Wellington boots and rubber boots. When they are supposed to use MIS
instead
to
of
solve the
using
problem.
data to solve the problem. And then how we have failed to utilize our land using technology to improve the livelihood of Ghanaians rather than depending on Burkina Faso. And then when they decided to cut down on the exportation of tomato and onion to us, we got stranded. However, if we should move across the breadth and the length of the country, we have arable land that we can properly invest in to make sure that we boost agriculture. So we're actually looking at the models that could be used to fast track MIS system in order to reduce the workload and make life more efficient and then better pick up of it up.
Okay, thank you very much. Yes, we've been discussing the final stage of MIS in government, in public institutions. It shouldn't be too different from what is happening in private institutions. The thing is that public institutions are to be more accountable, they are to be more fair, transparent, because they are taking money from you and I, the citizenry. And so this is the last leg of information systems in public administration or public institutions. We've gone through understanding, so we go through with the Bloom's taxonomy. The Bloom's taxonomy has 6 hierarchical levels. So we need to understand, we need to know what we are doing, understand what we are doing, evaluate what we are doing, analyze what we are doing, and then implement what we have to be doing. So when it comes to information systems, it's supposed to do everything. We don't have, there's nothing information system will not do. And companies, organizations, countries that have utilized information systems have seen the benefit. There are challenges. And after implementing information system and looking at the security implications of information system because of the tendency of cybersecurity, the next level is the evaluate the information system. So performance evaluation, performance measurement. And performance measurement can be done if we know the objectives. We should know what we are expecting that information system to do. So the objective of implementing, developing and implementing the information system should be known. Then you can have performance measurement along those policies. We've looked at information system, emerging technologies of information system. One of them is artificial intelligence. We've seen how artificial intelligence can help organizations, also public organizations, to transform governance by automating routine, repetitive tasks, administrative tasks, helping to predict public policy needs, improving service delivery, and allowing government to shift from being reactive to processing to reactive processes to highly responsive data-driven processes. But there are challenges, especially looking at hospitals. The number of challenges when we apply AI in public administration. We're looking at citizen service chatbots, where we can institute conversational AI handles for millions of people to chat, even if it's not a human being they are chatting with. So if they need any information about taxes, about licensing, about welfare benefit, they should be able to do it. There can also be documentation, process automation, where machine learning algorithms can be used to extract data from many forms to reduce the processing backlog for visas, for passports, and for other permits. Then there are predictive maintenance, where IoT sensors can be used to monitor public infrastructure like water, bridges, and flag defects before failure occur. And then there's fraud. One of the issues that is confronting many African countries, including Ghana, is fraud and corruption. So we can use AI to do cross-referencing and financial records to automatically flag tax evasion, identity theft, and also fraud. There are several ways that we can do it. Then there are predictive analytics for policy decisions, where historical big data can be turned into proactive, forward-looking public policy models. When it comes to public health, algorithms can also be used to predict diseases, disease outbreaks, and be able to allocate medical supplies early. There are smart economic models where machine learning can also be used in retail, in labor, in housing, to forecast inflation, and also to guide policy direction. There are a lot of them more. It is raining now. We should be able to predict, simulate rising sea levels and weather forecast, weather patterns, and know where the flood will come if it rains this number of inches. We should know beforehand, and therefore put in place measures. We shouldn't be surprised. Sometimes we are surprised that there's flood when we know that our coverts are very narrow. We are putting silt in there, we are putting sand in there, we are putting rubbish in there. So we shouldn't be surprised. And this situation has been around for a long time. Next year to rain, we will get it again. I don't need rocket scientists to come and tell you that anytime it rains, we will get flood. Then we can also have precision social safety nets where models can be made to locate communities at high risk of food shortage, housing insecurity, and deployment of targeted financial aid. There are big data for public administration, public service optimization, big data can act as the foundational tool to aggregate vast data to make cities and services run more efficiently. Dynamic intelligence systems, also GPS data from buses and trains, which we don't have here, to schedule and reduce gridlock, smart grid management, waste management, routing, where sensitive trash bins can be used. But here, I don't know how you are going to even put there. The department can use it. We are using Aboboya to cut our waste disposal. So waste is being handled by people who do not have the knowledge of how to handle waste, because they are doing it for survival. But there are people who are trained. Waste management is a profession that people really do to do it. Then there are emergency responses also, where we can use aggregated historical emergency service data to help position emergency vehicles closer to protected or projected accident hotspots. There are ethical issues where, even though we are expected to deploy MIS, there are algorithmic biases and black box problems where deep learning models lack transparency, making it impossible for citizens to appeal. Then we are also concerned about our privacy, because state is providing or state is using surveillance, continuously collecting data, facial recognition, locating, tracking that erodes our privacy. Our data can also be breached if we have centralized data of citizens. It serves as a high value target for ransomware, cybersecurity attacks, and also foreign espionage, because all the data is in one place. Last month or so, I had a news item where the president refused to give help data of Ghanaians to the US government. And I thought that was really a very good thing that he did. Because if we give our data to them, you have no idea what they can do with them. We also have the digital divide that we have to be concerned with. Many people do not have access to internet. Digital literacy is also one of the systemic means that excludes people from patronizing automated government services. If you look at this as some of the artificial intelligence, what it can do, all of these issues can be used, can be obtained using artificial intelligence. Cloud computing has been around. It's enabling government services and public sector organizations to modernize their digital service and reduce the IT costs. Because if you are not using cloud computing, then it means that you have to have your own network, have your own server, maintain the server, and when it comes to scaling also, that can become a problem. So replacement of rigid on-premise infrastructure with flexible these flexible cloud models, we can enable departments to improve on citizen engagement and ensure data security and streamline across various organizations and agencies for collaboration. So there's a need for government to transition to cloud-based operations by offering significant advantages that can also help careful management of security and compliance. So there are several concepts. We have concept and deployment, the benefit of cloud adoption, government cloud strategies, security, privacy, compliance issues, and also challenges of it. When it comes to concepts and the deployment of cloud-based models, we see cloud computing as an on-demand delivery of computing services. So rather than having your computing services in your office on premise, you give it to somebody else over the internet. This is to help replace physical data centers with visualize resources that allow businesses and government to scale resource globally and to pay only for what they are using. We are also deploying models that define where the infrastructure should be hosted, managed, and who has access to it. So cloud services, we have private cloud services, we have community, we have public, we have hybrid. So if it is private, we are going to see scalability, reduction in complexity, and also flexible, providing security and privacy issues. And we can have community also, where the community will provide specific business communities with shared infrastructure, high reliability, and meet the security privacy needs of each cloud service provider. And we can also have a hybrid system where the private and public can come together, providing scalability, flexibility, policy-driven, high reliability to suit the carrying out of big data operations. And of course, when we come to the public, scalability and secured environments enable dedicated, efficient service for the citizenry. So this is a framework for cloud service deployment. Cloud service deployment also would let us know where it lives and who owns it. So we have various models that detect where our cloud service infrastructure is hosted, how it is being hosted, how it is being accessed, and who has administrative control over it. So when it is public cloud, then owned and it is owned and operated by third-party providers with computing resources over the public internet. So servers and storage shared among multiple organizations with multi-latency. That can offer high scalability and cost efficiency, although it may offer less privacy, control, and security. When it is private, then the private entity will happen to be doing it. Our interest is public in this instance. So a single organization can have physically located at their own premises and then host parties can use it, providing maximum control and security. Hybrid, I have explained. Community, I have explained. There can also be multi-cloud, which involve having two or more distinct cloud service providers simultaneously. So we have various part of them, the AWS for storage cloud, Google Cloud for AI analytics. This will prevent the vendor lock-in. I think last week we discussed vendor lock-in. I don't know whether that is the cloud. If you are using the cloud services, then this will be an issue that we need to. Give me a moment. Give me a moment. Okay, so yes, there are several ways of which we can use cloud services, preventing lock-in, where if you have a vendor lock-in, can you imagine the government has a cloud service provider, and then the cloud service decides that he's going to charge double what he's charging now, and if for whatever reason they decide now, the fear is that if our cloud services are being hosted by American government, and then by an American company, an American government request for data, we say we are not going to give, and then we are compelled to okay, if we don't give it, then we are not also going to open the cloud service to you. You see what we will go through. So it is a very dicey situation we find ourselves as a nation. And there are several types of cloud service. We can have software as a service. So rather than having your own software, you can own this. You can subscribe to a software. There are also several platforms that if you need health service platform, for example, you don't need to develop your own system. You can also subscribe to it. IBM IT factories. We have Google, 4.com. We can have infrastructure also as a service. So in all of these cloud services, government individuals are not owning it. They are renting a space, and there are several models that can be used. There are key models. What do you get? I think that's what we discussed. Infrastructure as a service provides some of the fundamental computing services. So you rent the space of virtual machine servers, and then you can use it to manage your operations. There are examples: Amazon Web Service, Microsoft Azure Service, and the rest of them. When you have a platform as a service, you have on-demand environment where you can develop and test it. So once you want to develop your own system, you can go to the service and have the software. It strips away the need to manage every underlying hardware or software. And then you can have software as a service where you have fully functional, ready-to-use software application over the internet on subscription and pay-as-you-go basis. So all these Google Workplaces, Microsoft 360, 365 are all part of it. So computing concepts on demand delivery, replacing the need for physical centers with virtualized resources, and deployment of define where infrastructure is hosted and who manages it. In Ghana, yes, we've been through a lot of development where the paperless support digital transformation. And interestingly, that is where I did my experiential learning for my PhD. So I had started research, so I had to abandon everything and do the paperless. So Ghana Ports and Harbors Authority, Custom Division, the system was used to integrate the national single window with digital platform so that they can process custom clearance. The impact is that MIS has overhauled and eliminated the manual and paper-based processes, supposedly eliminating corruptible process, reducing paper-based and documentation processing time, and increasing the revenue collection for the states. It has helped to streamline collaboration among over 30 stakeholders who were operating at the port at this time. Sometimes I needed about 36 or 16 times 2, so 32 different paper. So paper-based, you have to print your document and give it to 16 institutions in the harbor. So you can imagine. So the people who were making money were the photocopier people. In Kenya, they have what we call the Integrated Health Management System, Health Management Information System, by the Kenya Ministry of Health, where they have deployed a centralized web-based digital platform that harmonizes routine health data across many facilities in all the 47 counties. So you see, this is what we are talking about. So it's not just one hospital. Every hospital in Ghana must be connected. So Kenya, they call their region or whatever counties, and 47 of them, every hospital, hundreds of them across all. The impact is that they have been able to move away from fragmented. So what we are doing is fragmented paper-based reporting, leading to vast increase in data completeness and accuracy. So this is helping them to have real-time tracking of disease outbreak and analyzing service delivery. So Kenyans are also doing badly. When they come to talk about our system, which is the paperless, they also appreciate what we are doing. So when they are taking decision on their health issues, it is evidence-based. So evidence-based policy decision. In Oman's e-government, which is the alternate e-governments or alternate e-government initiative, the government of Oman having a system that is countrywide digital portal, allowing citizens to access government services, to pay taxes, register their businesses, and manage land electronically. So everything is in one place. You don't have to go to various platforms or websites to get it. The impact is that it has really drastically reduced the time citizens and business spend in the bureaucratic queues and heavily cut administrative overheads for various ministries. And this has significantly improved Oman's standing in the UN e-government deployment. We want to see Ghana there. So there are global public organizations that are utilizing integrated information system to bridge governance gap, to reduce leakages and improve government citizen services. There are several real case studies that demonstrate how these specific public systems are operating. There's a national identification system for India, which is I don't know how you pronounce this word, but I think it's UIDR or something. And that's providing unique identification, like what we have as a National Identification Authority. And they call it Aadhaar. That's the world's largest biometric. You know, the Indians are that many. We are only 40 million at most, providing a platform that captures, so everybody in India, your fingerprints, your iris scan, your demographics data for over 1.3 billion residents. So you can see. So we are 40 million. Somebody's handling 1.3 billion. So there's no way we can compare ourselves to it. So these are providing public rails with open application programming interfaces, and that is giving real-time cloud verification engine, allowing banks and telecommunication companies, government agencies to instantly authenticate the identity of people. So as at now, we have integrated, they have advanced, adding AI-driven biometric deduplication model so that we can eliminate identity duplication and fraud. And the impact is that this has dramatically kept identity leakage in welfare distributions, saving millions of dollars by transferring benefit to those who actually need it. E-government initiatives are also in Estonia. This is a country that you really fall in love with when it comes to e-government. Because they have an e-government platform and digital initiatives where government is able to, unlike the centralized government database, we can have a decentralized, interconnected grid linking public and private sectors together and having secured encrypted tunnels. There are strict enforcement of once only principle. This is where I'm looking at once only, meaning that the MIS prevent any other state institution from asking a citizen for data that another department has already taken. This is the crux of the matter. If any other institution takes my data, it goes directly into. So if I start going to the platform through DVLA, for example, as soon as DVLA captures my data, every government institution has the data because they have a common platform. So once only principle. Once only principle prevents so many things: duplication of data, authenticity, integrity of the data. And that is what we are looking at. The impact is that, look at Estonia. Over 99% of public administration services are able to stay online 24/7. and handling millions of institutional transactions annually and saving citizens the hours of many hours of bureaucratic processes and procedures. Yes, we are also doing well somehow, Ghana Revenue Authority, but it is still silo. If you go to the GRA, we have integrated tax administrating system alongside with the centralized e-government. So we have these infrastructure, cloud-based tax MIS aggregating data from various registrations and business registrations and custom department and commercial banks into a single platform. Still, we are doing well. But I want us to get to the point where we can have once only, once only. You don't need to save it. Our Ghana card is also doing well. The system is tracking domestic tax returns, monitoring payroll, and using biometric Ghana card. And then we have the impact is that we have now widened the formal tax net, streamlining filing process for local corporations and minimizing leakage from manual cash handling by moving process completely online. If you go to file your tax, the number of people you have to come into contact with. Then Rwanda. Rwanda also have the biomedical center and Ministry of Health, where the system National Electronic Medical Records for rapid SMS deployment. This infrastructure functions with unified health management information system using hybrid mobile and web network to collect clinical health matrices from rural setup. So even at the rural areas, we are still using for references. So these platforms are helping. So automatically they are linking maternal health alerts via SMS, tracking vaccination rollout, and tracking medical inventory at every level. So if the child has not been vaccinated, the government will know, the minister will know, because there's a dashboard that shows it. When the child is born, his data is collected and it is fed into the system. And if we roll out vaccination and health services, you can track and then can send people there to make sure that. So that has reduced significantly the infant mortality rates, because there are automated immediate danger signs alerts that help to prevent regional medical stockouts via algorithms, inventory reassignment, and management system. So all of these are some of the real world MIS public organization case study. There are a lot more. From now, we're going to have student project presentation next week, or when the date for in-service, in-house, or in-person meeting comes. That should help include the evaluation of selected MIS implementations, some learned lessons that have been achieved with public sector projects, and then what are some of the future opportunities and challenges when it comes to implementing public MIS for public organizations. And you have to also provide recommendation for public policy and practice. So in conclusion, we have had a look at performance measurements in public organizations, MIS performance in public organization. We've seen that for MIS to work, it has to transform from the rigid internal accounting into a dynamic citizen-centric through case studies, not having silo systems and duplicated systems like we have in Ghana. We need once only system through case studies and implementing frameworks that are required to navigate the challenges like political interferences and the temptation to do the blame game system, the game system. This government comes and changes. So the future of public service is very good, is very important. If we can do it well, we can leverage on MIS. I'm sure that as economists, you find it easier. And most of the things that we are doing using manual paper-based procedures can be reduced with digital system through information systems. So this brings us to the end of today's lecture, and I hope we've had a good time. There are plenty controversies, opinions, and telling us what you think. Okay. Any question, any contributions, any additions, subtractions? And you can disagree. I mean, we don't have to agree on all issues. So let's hear from you. Are there any questions, contributions, additions, subtractions?
Doc.
Yes, sir.
In relation to the cloud computing, if in case you have your data in the cloud and then being stored in the cloud, and then in case of something happened and then you lost your data, what do you do?
The cloud is really robust in the sense that losing your data will be very strange for you to lose your data, because they have various backups. They have backups in various. This online thing we are doing with Zoom is also cloud. And when we finish, if we recorded it, even if you didn't record it, it's still be stored in their cloud. And they don't have only one. So to say your data is lost will be strange. What may happen is that you may not have paid your subscription. And so if you don't pay your subscription, because your data with them and they stop you from using it, then that is where the issue will happen. When I was doing my PhD, there was a platform, if I remember very well, that I was saving all my research into, and they were charging like $100 a year. So I put in all my information. I paid $100 for 4 years. Then when I finished, I've achieved my aim, so I didn't pay. I stopped paying. So if you stop paying, the work you have done, they also, as soon as you go to the platform, they also not give you. You know, so every day they are sending me and say, oh, this thing I use it for my PhD. I think I can let it go, because I'm not going to pay $100 a year for it. So, but if it's a government or a business institution that you really need the data every day, then because whatever data is there, whatever work it's been several years. So even if I'm doing a similar project, I will need current data to do it. So I'm really not seeing the need to pay the $100 a year. So yeah, that's what. But it doesn't mean that the data is lost. That data is not lost. It is there. It's just that I don't have access to it. So yes, rather than saying it is lost, you can probably say that if the government does not have access to the data, what do you do? So two things you can do. You yourself must also have a backup. Whatever that you are doing, the government must have a backup, or have two or multiple. We looked at multiple cloud service. We look at cloud infrastructure as a service, software as a service. So it's something that you must think through and look at all the challenges that are likely to come. Look at the scenarios, role-based scenarios, and take a decision. I hope that's fine.
Yes, please.
All right, thank you very much. Any other discussion? Some people come to my class and they never say anything. Patrick Esiama, you didn't say anything. If you don't say anything, you lose my 10 marks. Savior. Savior too didn't say anything.
Yeah, I have a
Savior
question.
didn't say anything. Yeah, what's your question?
It's about the cloud services.
Yeah, what about the cloud services?
And yeah, just as you have just said and you have been saying, I think it also has implications for, because most of the cloud services are outside the country. I don't know whether as a country or as a country, and I don't mean government, but as a people, whether we are making efforts to be able to have our own hosting companies and stuff, where we can also, companies can host, provide cloud services in Ghana, so that we can have some independence on our data? That's my question.
Yes. It's very important to have our own in-house. The longer we keep depending on the white man, they will always have a hold on us. So there's a need to have our own cloud service system. I agree with you, but I'm not sure which company is doing that now because it's just like the importation of chicken. You see, our poultry industry is collapsed. Do you realize that
Yeah.
we hardly have local poultry because they are dumping on us, and it's the Ghanaians are also going there to bring it. So people are making big business out of dumping chicken on us. So indigenous adaptation or development of cloud systems are important. But where is the money? Where is the willpower? Government will have to initiate it. Individuals may not, because even the individuals initiate it, you won't even trust it to go to them. And companies like Google and Amazon and IBM, they have arrived. And you only to spend $100 a year to use it, the facility. But if you're going to build, can you imagine? And the security and the licenses and all that is required. But it is something that we have to look at. We have to look at assembling our own cars. We have to look at providing agriculture extension services to our farmers. Our cocoa industry is virtually collapsing because we do it and we don't even determine how much it should be sold. In our other economic parameters, the developer is the market that determines the price. But these people one day can say, your cocoa, we buy it for 20,000. Meanwhile, the oil we are buying, that's not it. So it's an important thing that we need to confront and advise ourselves and move towards having our own cloud service. But the difficulty is who bears the cut? Who would be able to stand up and say, let's stop using it? All our universities are using it. Look at us here. If somebody should create a collaborative platform like Zoom and give it to the university, I'm sure the university will reject it. There are several systems that have been developed, even for level 400 students that are in the system. Computer science students have developed it. IT students have developed plenty software. They use it to pass. After they pass, bingo, nobody uses it again. So many of even the things that we are talking about has been developed in-house. If you go to tech, you go to Lego, you go to many of the computer-related courses, people are developing them. They only need the support and then the scalability. But that's the difficulty, one of the challenges we face as a nation. So yes, I agree with you. We need to have an in-house build. Yes, Matthew, you didn't say anything. Michael, Asari. Yes. Can you could bring your hand up? I can see.
Doc, this is Matthew. I've spoken.
Okay, you
I've
have spoken. Then I'm pulling your legs. Yes, Inusa.
Yes, so I just want to add some touches to the cloud computing conversation.
All right, go ahead.
Especially the last question that had to do with Ghana as a country sort of supporting or trying to establish our own cloud computing service. When you look at the services providers, right? Just like we have internet service providers in Ghana, you have the likes of MTN, the Vodafone. As some time ago, we used to have some little private ones, right? Same way we have for the cloud service providers, but it's not really something that is viable on a lower or on a small scale. So when you look at Amazon Cloud Service, that's AWS. In fact, even globally, they only have one server country in Africa, like just one in South Africa. So the entire Africa, they only have one server in South Africa, which serves, all African countries. If you want to select a server that's close to your location in order to improve latency, right? So That is that. But when you look at all of them, it's a very capital intensive investment that some of these little company startups is not startup friendly. That is the point I want to make. So I think there's just one smaller company that's in the space. I think Digital Ocean, and it's even US based, and their target is basically for cloud compute, for like the software development and stuff like that. But when you look at it critically, it goes way beyond that. It's not something that I think is viable for where we are, because even the electricity that you need to power some of these servers is crazy. And Ghana as a country, we are even struggling with our electricity dependency, independence. So it's something that I don't think is viable at the moment for Ghana because of its structure and its how it's been operated, right? So that's just a little bit of
Yes, Adnan, yes. Yeah, you're right. There are a lot of challenges. So there are several reasons why we should not. But Ghana can pursue a homegrown. Should it do it? Is it viable? If it's not viable, is that the same way poultry is not viable to even have a poultry farm? It's not, because somebody is bringing it cheaper. So why would you want to set up an infrastructure and you don't even have this extension services to do it? So yeah, but the dependency on foreign infrastructure, strengthening of our sovereignty, improving resilience for the
yes.
national digital platform. So yeah, there's a reason why. The why is driven by strategy, economic and security consideration.
Yes.
The how depends on the infrastructure investment, policy direction, and institutional coordination that is required. So why should Ghana develop a homegrown? Because of data
Yes,
sovereignty,
sir.
the national security, sensitivity of government, health, financial, and all of those things. So local cloud, if we are able to do,
So
it's
yes, so
important.
just the national
But
security aspect.
it is not viable because it is maybe you are speaking as an economic, yes.
Yes.
You are speaking as an economist.
Yes, from that perspective. But also, when
Yes.
you talked about the national security, I have another perspective I want to share. So, when you look at the recent, so for instance, when you look at Russia, right? So you realize that Yango, for instance, is a Russian-based company, right? And Yango in itself, it doesn't use Google Maps as its map API for so many reasons. You know, you have the likes of Uber and then both using Google Maps, but Yango do not use that. You know, Yango, it's the parent company is Yandex. So when you look at it from that perspective, I actually got to appreciate their position recently when there was a war between US and Iran. You realize that China as a country, they also have their own map system. They have their own social media platform and all those things. That's the Beidou and stuff like that. When you realize that during the recent war, Iran, for instance, was not able to access Google Maps because, of course, Google is a US company. And as a result, they were not able to even use Google satellite. They had to rely on different countries, that's like the likes of China and the Russia satellite. So I agree with you from the security perspective that, you know, relying solely on some of these foreign services and companies, they have its implication because you build your entire MIS infrastructure on another country's cloud service provider. And then when there is some of these issues, they hold you by the neck because they have the power through regulations and through their laws to ask the particular company to cut you out. You understand? So some of these things are also very, very important. And I think I agree with you in that perspective that, you know, there can be some part of our data that we host it in-house or domestically so that some of these risks are mitigated.
Tomatoes and onions. Look at what Burkina Faso did to us. So yes, they are developing an in-house or maybe local cloud services. Something that we can be looked at. I'm not sure whether it is feasible now. Yes, Matthew.
Yeah, so additionally, it's what we are the MIS we are looking at isn't an individual basis or a basic level. It's a topmost level whereby institutions like government institutions are involved. And so I believe in the long term, it will still pay off, even though it looks like it'd be very cost intensive at the beginning. In the long run, like issues coming up like this war and stuff, you see that you become more sovereign and more strong on that level. And so
but for Ghana, we haven't gone to war before. We
yes,
are
of
always
course,
going,
but we
and
will
I'm
not
not.
wait
I'm
to
not sure
get there.
we intend to go to war.
We
We are
may
rather.
not, but you see, Burkina Faso, for instance, is our right door neighbor, and then they are in some of these crises, and so we can. It's the worst case scenario can always be factored in, and so also I've please share them to you in your private chats. Something small. So if you could please look at it for me. It's basically on your research you mentioned that you did. I'm also looking at an aspect of it which deals with the cost effectiveness of electronic health adoption. And so please check it, and then we'll converse from there. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you very much. So yes, it's important. Thank you. It's important now. Data Protection Act, cyber security issues, digital governance, all of these, building local technical capacities like training. There's a need to invest in training cloud architects, development engineers, cybersecurity specialists, and system administrators all through these universities. These are part of the courses. And especially GCTU, we are in a better position to drive such innovation. If we are given the opportunity, there must be realistic approach. I understand a hybrid approach will start, and there's the sensitivity of data and storing it locally, and then encouraging public-private partnership collaboration will be also good, ensuring strong connectivity. We don't have the infrastructure, and that is true. Electricity that will be running. Look at our data. Ghana, even data. Look at MTN. They are holding us on ransom to pay. If I tell you how much money I spent on data, by the time you finish this, you yourself will know. There's a backbone of fiber networks and expansion of national ICT. So overall, I think that, yes, to have it is difficult, but its feasibility depends on how you can do it. Maybe we phase it out, implementation phase out, having practical models as hybrid and national. So gradually the approach will balance sovereignty, will balance the cost and technological efficiency. But how do we achieve it? The people too, they can also sabotage us. Yes, Xavier.
Yes, Doc. I wanted to know something about this, the health issue, the recent news that is circulating that President Mahama he didn't give out the health data to the US president. I don't know. I want to know if there is. Don't you think there is also another way they can easily get it? Because sometimes these systems and the softwares, they are being built by, a third party or something like that. That's some of the foreign countries. Because it was recently that I heard that health system or software was built by some other distance. I don't actually know. Are we safe at all? Because I think there could also be a ways and means that they can easily get it. Because
but these people are for the whites. There's no limit for what they do, and they don't care. They are not moralists. They don't really care. They will do whatever they have to do. But then you are right. They can find other means. They have come to you to collect it. If you say you give it to us, okay, we hear you. They'll find other means to get it. That is what I heard, though. But there's always the need to negotiate. They may not give up. They may come again. Burkina Faso is standing on the, and I don't know why we can't even copy the model. Because recently when Bill Gates made a statement that African can never unite, because said African can, when Burkina Faso said that kick off everything associated with Bill Gates. They don't want to have anything to do with him. Get out of our country. Can we have the balls? Probably Burkina Faso is not on the shore, so they can have their way. We are close to the shore. They can bring a submarine there, or if they bring an aircraft carrier and put it on our shore, they can do all manner of things to us. So probably we are, but we are also fearless. Ghanaians, we are gentle. We don't pay sort of. So yeah, it's not a straightforward issue to transverse. It's not something that you just say it and move ahead with it. I'm sure they even have it. They just wanted to have official stamp on it or something.
Yeah,
I'm sure they
because
have
by
it.
this time they have it. They will, I mean, they
Oh,
will get
well, I'm sure they have it.
Because
I'm
sometimes
sure.
this system, we normally don't build them here. We go out there and buy.
Yeah.
So those that build it, I think they can link up with them and then
And
easily
Ghana,
get.
you know, when we're doing the development, one of the critical concerns is the in-house saboteur. Those who are working with you, they themselves will sell the idea. If an American person gives him $100,000 right now, I think they will not sell the idea to them and move away, move with all his children to America and forget about Ghana. So there are a lot of difficulties that we have to do. All right. I have a presentation at 12 o'clock. So if there are no issues, we would have to pause here, and then probably we will meet in-house, in person, and that is when we are going to do the presentation. I'm sure you have the questions already, right?
Yeah, we
Yes,
have it.
Mustafa. So
Yes,
please,
sir,
and
sir,
you
I
have
have
the groups
something.
as well.
Yes, sir, we do. We do. I have something personal to discuss with you, so maybe I'll call it. I don't know when it will be appropriate for me to call.
Today I have a program from 12 to 6. I don't maybe 2 hours, maybe from 12 to 4. I'm sure by 6 o'clock. It's raining here in Ghana. It's raining in Accra here. So I'm sure maybe by 6 o'clock I should be okay. So any
Okay.
moment from now you can call me, you can text me.
Okay.
If you
Thank
call
you.
and I don't pick it, I'll call back.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay. Any other? All right. Thank you very much for being part of this.
Hello, Doc.
Yes. You are saying you are here with iPhone. You see, we have mentioned several times, saying, give us your name, give us your name. If you bring iPhone, nobody knows you came to lecture.
Yeah, sorry, I think it's about the configuration, so I'll look at that, because anytime, if I change the name, if I go off and join, then it comes as iPhone. So I think the configuration issue. So I'll look at that.
Okay.
But I was about to ask if a company or a private, let's say a private company want to go MIS, can you assist in that? Do you do project for individual?
I do projects. I build projects, a lot of projects. I've built a lot of projects. Even now, there's a project that was sent to me. I need to submit a proposal before, if I may look at it. There's a proposal from DA. Oh, just a moment. Let me share this. Probably, if somebody is also interested, we can collaborate, because it is big, and because I'm teaching. Yeah, UNESCO has sent me to provide a response for proposal, capacity building firm for the DARE program 2026. So it says that you are requested to submit a request for proposal in accordance with the instruction provided. And the instructions are very, 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 I looked at it yesterday. I said, hey, Charlie, will I have time? I need somebody to join me to do it. And it should be done before when? 16 June. So I have 10 days to submit to the UNESCO office terms of reference, proposals, and price schedule, and all of that. So that's what we are supposed to do. The purpose is to invite sealed proposal for professional services to be provided to the United Nations Education, Scientific, and Cultural. You need to be able to do this. Plenty. I don't know. So let's talk. If you are interested, come. I'll do the building, the building the system. I need people to. There's a lot of issues that we have to comply with. So if somebody is interested, you can come for us to put it together. It's quite good.
Contact.
You are my student. You have my course outline. My contact is my course outline, please. So please
Okay,
go
sir.
go to my course outline. My contacts are on it.
Yes, sir.
All right,
Yes,
Charlie.
sir.
I have about 20, maybe 10 minutes. Charlie, 10 minutes to prepare for my next engagement. So thank you very much for being part of this. I hope that we will meet some other time and tell the story about what the ICD is doing now that you have seen what you can gain from it and get your certificate. And the word of mouth, the word of mouth is more important than even posting adverts. So tell your other colleagues to come and join. If you have any group, send the information to them so that the next cohort they can also join and gain the knowledge and the experience that you have also accrued. Thank you very much for being part of this discussion. In the absence of any further discussion, deliberations, questions, or answers, and can we have somebody to move for the closure of the class? Somebody hasn't spoken. Kofi Prince Ohineba, you haven't said a word. Kofi Ohineba, are you here? Okay, Bismarck, go ahead.
So it's 11:47. I, Kofi Bismarck, in absence of any further discussion, I move for the closure of this lecture. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Kofi, will somebody second the motion for the closure?
Nene Martin Butchie, second for the closure of this meeting.
All right, thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of the wet morning and be good, stay blessed, and meet you some other time. Bye.
Bye, sir.
Thank you, Doc.
Bye, Doc. Thank you.
Jennifer.
Yes.
You've not been seeing my missed calls.
I was like last week. I'll call you. We'll talk.
Waiting
it was
for
just
your
last week. I think I even called you before you called. So I'll call you.
So you kept me sleepless night. So let me hear from you.
All right, I'll call you right after this lecture.